To us what went into that. How long was a shift? Certainly Kovalev was a talent, that's for sure, but he was a bit of an enigma.
Super talent.
Yes.
And talented people sometimes are elusive. And Alex, I try to explain to him, you're getting 20 minutes, and I don't want the shifts to be 1 minute, so you have 20 shifts. I'm going to give you 40 shifts at 30 seconds so you can build the intensity up. Understand? Yeah, I understand, Mike. Goes out there. Of course, it's a minute and a half. I said, now, Alex, the guy that's supposed to be playing behind you just missed his shift because now we're going to the next rotation. You're out there for 2 rotations. Okay, Michael. So, again, next thing, does it again. So I said, oh, my God. So I said, okay, guys, this time when he comes back to the bench, it's now going to overextend his shift. He's going to be a little tired. Don't open the doors. He comes over and I said, get out. He thinks I love him now. Get back out there, I said. So then he comes over again. And now I said, guys, he's going to want to climb into the bench because he's done. I said, when he comes over, puts his leg up, push him back out. And they pushed him. But now they are laughing on the bench. This is in New York City. Right during the game, back there. So Alex figures it out. He scores a goal in the middle of this shift.
Wow.
He gets himself a rest. Stays out there. Finishes the period. So I think it's about 9 minutes. I walk off the bench. I said, Mess, explain it to him, will you, please? He said, I will. Don't worry. I'll look after it. So as a result, we fast forward now to the playoffs in Game 6, playing New Jersey. In the Jersey series, I double shifted him. When he had to come back, and he was electrifying. Mess got the 3 goals, but Alex was a horse. And very talented, powerful. And the problem was he was so efficient that he could stay out, but he didn't grasp the concept of just picking up the intensity. You could see him. He could dangle and hang onto the puck, and nobody could take it from him. He was resting while he was out there. So
in essence, it was a bit of a training ground for what was to come against the Devils at the most important time.
Exactly.
Wow.
So it turned out to be a good lesson for him because that's what he did in that game. 30 seconds, 40 seconds. I just said, Alex, I'm going to double shift you. Get ready. Don't be out too long.
That was former NHL head coach Iron Mike Keenan in conversation with Gord Stellick and Scott Laughlin for the Morning Skate on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. That's SiriusXM Channel 91.
SiriusXM has soccer covered end to end. SiriusXM FC. Hear live play-by-play and talk shows hosted by legends of the game. It's SiriusXM FC on Channel 157.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Sunday, April the 19th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL playoffs, Colorado Avalanche take on the LA Kings at 3 p.m. Avalanche on SiriusXM channels 91, Internet 926, Kings on Internet 932. Tampa Bay Lightning face the Montreal Canadiens at 5:45 p.m. Lightning on Sirius 208, XM 219, and Internet 945. Canadiens on Internet 934. National feed on XM 380, Internet 970. Buffalo Sabres host the Boston Bruins at 7:30 p.m. Sabres on Sirius XM channels 91, Internet 922. Bruins on Internet 921. Vegas Golden Knights take on the Utah Mammoth at 10 p.m. Knights on Sirius 209, XM 220, and Internet 949. Mammoth on Sirius XM channels 91, Internet 947. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Channel 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM NHL schedule for Sunday, April the 19th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL playoffs, Colorado Avalanche take on the LA Kings at 3 p.m. Avalanche on Sirius XM channels 91, Internet 926, Kings on Internet 932. Tampa Bay Lightning face the Montreal Canadiens at 5:45 p.m. Lightning on Sirius 208, XM 219, and Internet 945. Canadiens on Internet 934. National feed on XM 380, Internet 970. Buffalo Sabres host the Boston Bruins at 7:30 p.m. Sabres on Sirius XM channels 91, Internet 922, Bruins on Internet 921. Vegas Golden Knights take on the Utah Mammoth at 10 p.m. Knights on Sirius 209, XM 220, and Internet 949. Mammoth on Sirius XM channels 91, Internet 947. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, channel 91.
Follow every second of the action on NHL Network Radio. From behind the bench to every play on the ice. If it's hockey, it's on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91.
Former Buffalo Sabres head coach Don Granato was on the morning skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick for Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Channel 91, to talk about how different today's athletes are, as well as what it's been like to watch Austin Matthews grow.
It's really a switch in the last 10 years. First birth year I had at the national team program was 95 birth year. So it was JT Compher, Tyler Mott, that group. You have them for 2 years, so the next birth year coming in was the 97s, which was prolific. It was Austin Matthews and Matthew Tkachuk and McAvoy and Hanifin, Werenski. And I remember talking to the coaches back then that this birth year is way different than the 95 birth year. And this summer, ironically, I picked up a book that titled The Anxious Generation. And I thought it was very well documented, and the author used the iPhone. And the iPhone came out in 2008 or 6, somewhere in that range. But social media didn't hit hard on the iPhone where you could rate a kid's looks if you're a high school student. And so judging other people on a social media app on the iPhone was about 2013. And so now you think about all these kids going to high school, and we never had this. They can be made fun of on social media. They don't even know it, and they're walking out of a classroom and people are laughing. Yeah. So it's a different world we all live in because we're all criticized and compared to more and faster. And with that, you need to balance that with support. And I think, lots of coaches that have gone that I watch around the league in the NHL, there's a lot of great coaches and a lot of good young coaches that are really good at that. The X's and O's, I say to people, are easy now. When the X's and O's are a very simple part of hockey. It's connecting with people and getting people motivated and excited. And that's changed dramatically. X's and O's became big when video hit the computer. You could watch 100 or 1,000 forechecks over and over and over and say, okay, these are the key components on a forecheck. And so, you didn't have to be in the NHL to become better at that. So that's the easy part. I just can't imagine doing this or that I did it. I called Brian Matthews one time in Austin's U17 year. And I said, Brian, do you have any idea how good your son is? And his reply was no. Like, what are you talking about? Why are you, what is this conversation? And I had to explain to him, and I said, I think this is what's going to happen to Austin. I said, you honestly have to prepare for your life to become very chaotic and crazy. And lo and behold, he gets drafted in Toronto instead of some different market. And we know how crazy it can be here.
Oh yeah.
But and then the last thing I'll say on it is I remember leading up to the draft, lots of people said, can he handle Toronto? And I thought, absolutely, no problem. And the biggest thing for me is when a young player comes in the league, and we talked about it earlier, if they're a -2 or 3 and they have a really tough night, you get to know how they're going to respond. And some that breaks their confidence, and maybe they need a stint in the AHL. You got to get them out of the pressure. Mm-hmm. But Austin was so good that if that happened, and when it's happened in his career, it doesn't hurt his confidence. He knows that he's in that category of player that I know I can redeem myself just get me to the next game now. And they can do, the best players can do that. And that's a different echelon of player at the NHL level that can do that. So if you look at the top players in the NHL, their confidence is not going to break. The guys right under that, they have a bad night. They may not want that next game.
SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio is the place for expert advice, strategy, and information for the best fantasy sports analysis to win your league. Plus, hear pick-by-pick coverage of live drafts and interviews with top players, coaches, and team executives on SiriusXM 87.
I'm Frank Track.
You're listening to NHL Play-by-Play on SiriusXM.
From ringside at T-Mobile Arena in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. This is Sunday, April 19, 2026. And this is the Stanley Cup Playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network. Hello again, everybody. Dan Duva, Gary Lawless. The Knights embark on their 8th postseason. Only once have they failed to qualify in their first 9 campaigns. But Gary, for the first time, the Utah Mammoth reached the Stanley Cup playoffs, and that's the matchup here in the first round.
Yeah, it's an excellent matchup. Utah had the edge in the 3 games that the teams played this year. They won 2. Vegas won 1. The last time it was when Vegas was really kind of in the throes of their death spiral. It was near the end of Bruce Cassidy's tenure as head coach of the Golden Knights. Since then, John Tortorella has transformed the Golden Knights back into the team that we knew they could be. They were 7-0-1 down the stretch, and Carter Hart is playing some of his best hockey ever in the NHL. This is a really interesting matchup because we don't know how Utah is going to respond to being in the playoffs, and we don't know if what we saw from Vegas down the stretch is real. And we'll find out a little bit of that tonight, but this is like a striptease. A little bit gets revealed at every game. It doesn't all become exposed all at once. We will find. I went down a lane there that I didn't mean to go down, Lane, but it happened.
No, you stayed on track.
Yeah,
that was good.
Yeah. But we'll find out a little bit tonight, and then maybe a little bit more in game 2, and then however long this goes, a new layer will be revealed. It's like peeling an onion. You get a new layer each time you come out to play. So I'm excited to see how both teams respond to the moment. The goaltenders are really interesting. Carter Hart, I believe what we saw down the stretch is who he is. He's uber talented. He's really prepared. He has had moments of excellence. The last time he was in the playoffs, he went 9-5. His save percentage was well into the 9s.
9.26.
And his goals against was low in the 2s.
2.23.
So I think that's the guy we're going to see, except I think he's actually a little bit better. He's 27 years old now, physically matured. He's been through a lot in his life. Like pressure for Carter Hart, there's no pressure here for him. He's seen the worst of pressure that you can deal with in today's society. So it'll be fascinating to see those. And then Vejmelka at the other end played 64 games. He looked a little tired down the stretch, but he's had a break here. Will he rebound to the excellence that we've seen from him? I will tell you this is how I think the series hangs on. If Vegas turns the puck over in between the blue lines, Utah will win the series. If Vegas manages the puck well in that area, the Golden Knights will win the series. I think it really boils down just to that one thing.
John Tortorella has thoughts on this series, but also big picture thoughts. His first 3 weeks as the head coach of the Golden Knights. It was 3 weeks ago today that the Golden Knights made that change. And since March 30th, the Golden Knights have the best record in the National Hockey League. Also, with a .938 points percentage, number 1. Goals against average, number 1 at 1.88. And the goals scored per game, third in the NHL, 4.13. The question is, of course, can they continue that stretch? The Utah Mammoth, 4th in the Central Division, wild card number 1, and in their second season in Salt Lake City after having been purchased from the franchise that was the Arizona Coyotes. John Tortorella joins us when we come back. Puck drop in Game 1 of the first round between the Golden Knights and Mammoth is on deck from T-Mobile Arena in fabulous Las Vegas. Presented by Lee's Discount Liquor. This is the Stanley Cup Playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
Calling all Vegas Golden Knights fans. Hockey is back, and the RTC Game Day Express is your road to victory this season. For just $4 round trip, get a direct, fast, and easy ride to T-Mobile Arena from 6 convenient locations around the valley. Break away from traffic hassles and leave the driving to us. Visit rtcsnv.com/Game Day Express for details. Don't forget to follow us on social media, RTC SNV, for your chance to win tickets to VGK home games.
Bet like the pros with Circa Sports, the official jersey sponsor of the Vegas Golden Knights. Get all the benefits of the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips with the Circa Sports app. Experience the highest betting limits, lowest hold percentage, and the best customer service. Download your new bookie today and bet like a pro from anywhere in Nevada. CircaSports.com, the official jersey sponsor of the Vegas Golden Knights.
Back to the rink as Dan Duva catches up with Vegas Golden Knights coach John Tortorella.
At T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, the Stanley Cup playoffs begin. Vegas Golden Knights host the Utah Mammoth. I'm Dan Duva with head coach of the Golden Knights, John Tortorella. John, you spoke to the media the other day. Gary Lawless asked you about the word we. It's been 3 weeks since you took over this team. How did they become a we?
Well, I think when you start going through some experiences with them, running some practices with them, meetings with them, you start becoming with them, right? And I am very cognizant of when a coach is moved and I'm brought in. I'm very cognizant of that coach that left, and the coach that left here was a very good coach. So I'm not looking to jump into this is my team. I'm here now. It only for just for a few weeks here now. So I just tread lightly. I think that's respectful. But now once playoffs start and we've gone through a few weeks together, I feel I'm part of them and want to be part of them and looking forward to it.
How do you think it's gone the first 3 weeks?
Yeah, it's gone good. It's been a whirlwind. It's I think having the staff, Butchie's coaching staff here when I came in, I leaned on them tremendously. Kelly has been a tremendous help to me just to try to understand the players, how things were done around here. I think sometimes coaches come in, they want to change everything over. You can't do that. Not in the short time I've been here in the 8 games of a regular season in a couple of weeks. So I have my feet on the ground. I understand the players. I think they understand me a little bit better too. I think that sometimes there's a perception of people when they don't know you. I think it's good that they see who I am. So happy the way we're playing going into the playoffs, which is the most important thing. So we're looking ready to get going here.
How have you used the last 3 days since the regular season finale?
Yeah, we've prepared them. We have showed them a little tape. We've gone over a number of things, trying to really watch ourselves and check ourselves and not giving them too much. We're not changing much how we're going to play anyway. When you're playing a series against a team for a couple weeks, it's the same team. We've touched upon a little bit of their stuff, not too much, because I still think it's about us. As we talked about the other day, we're looking to inflict and not counterpunch. I don't want us to be a counterpunching team. I want us to go after teams. We make mistakes, we'll make mistakes, but I want it done aggressively.
At practice 2 days ago, there's a drill where often we'll see it. You bring the goals out to the blue lines, and it's 3-on-3 plus the goalies. You watched all of that with a smile from ear to ear. Can you describe what that's like for you to watch that?
Well, the thing I loved about it is just the energy, and I think the guys feel good about themselves. I think that's a really important thing. I think, a few weeks ago, I think there were some struggles with their confidence for whatever reason was. I'm not going to blame the coach. I'm not going to blame the goaltending. Something just wasn't working, and I believe that's why Kelly called me, right? And so that was my biggest responsibility, is to get us, for me, it was to play fast. It was to play aggressive and find some way to get them feeling good about themselves. You win some hockey games, that's the recipe, right? So it's anything special I did. They won the games. The players played, they won the games, and now they're feeling good about themselves, and you become tighter as a group. So watching them, they love playing the games, right? They don't even know why we put the game in. They just know it's a game, and they compete. So we get the work in, and they also have some fun.
Braden McNabb said the other day that, of course, this is the best time of the year, but he also said this is the most fun time of the year. Yeah. Why is fun important?
Yeah, because it's such a long grind, training camp, 82 games, ebbs and flows of the season, all the travel, condensed schedule with the Olympics this year. But this is what they play for. I know people say that this is why we play it. It's one of the most famous lines, this is why we play the game. It is, though. It's the playoffs. And the intensity rises. It's a challenge for people. It's a challenge for the individual player. It's a challenge for the team itself. Anything can happen. And you're getting to where there's a light at the end of the tunnel where you're looking to try to win a championship, right? And so long year. It is a long year. And it's going to be longer next year because it's 84 games. So this is, I think you need to allow them to be loose. They need to have some fun here because they've gone through the grind of the year to get here.
There was a great teacher who said repeatedly that attitudes are not taught, they're caught. How would you like your players to catch your attitude? How would you describe it?
My attitude? Yeah, my attitude is simple, it's straightforward, it's direct, it's hard, it's honest. You wrap it all up and let's go. Don't overthink this. Let's go. We're going to play straight ahead. We're going to have an attitude that I'm coming at you. We're going to have an attitude, I'm not going to wait to see what you do. I'm going to do it to you. So that's the mental mindset I want our group to have. And I think they've found their way in doing that consistently in the last 8 games.
A playoff series, best of 7 in the Stanley Cup playoffs, different than just a one-game matchup. How do you see the differences?
Yeah, when you play in a regular season one game, you go into another team the next night. There's really no talk of that team in our meetings. No talk, other than the special teams, power play and penalty killing. When you get into a series, there was a little. We spent some time. We spent about 20 minutes talking about what to expect from this team. Talked about some of their personnel. We did that right off the get-go. We wanted to let them know because it's a very good team and they deserve to be here. They've worked hard as an organization over the years to finally get here. A move to Utah from Arizona. A lot of stuff's going on with that team. I think they're going to come in loose. I think they're happy to be here. But I also think they're well coached and it's a very good hockey team. We got to be ready. I want us to worry about ourselves, but we also have to respect the opponent, how good they're going to be also. The 16 teams that are playing, they're good teams. As long as our team understands, and I think they do, then we start worrying about ourselves then and playing our game.
You've been involved in the postseason in a lot of roles. This is your 13th postseason as an NHL head coach. When you're thinking about a game and you're right in the middle of it, how is it different maybe than your first postseason? What is it like in John Tortorella's mind that you've had this much experience?
Yeah, you know what? It's nice to have the experience, but it still doesn't take away the anticipation and the butterflies, no matter how young or how old. Sometimes when you're younger, you don't even know what to expect. You don't understand the pressures of it, and it almost frees you up a little bit. I think it will with some of the players on their team. They haven't played, and some of them haven't played, and they'll just go play. But not a lot has changed. It really, I'm not sure how many players. You said 13 or so?
This is your 13th postseason as a head coach.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate. That's one thing. I'm very fortunate to have the opportunity to do it that many times. But the anticipation and just you could call it nerves. It's there. It's there because you care. You want to do the best you can. You want to help your team the best it can. And the excitement overrides everything because there's nothing better in all pro sports as far as I'm concerned, all the other major sports, than NHL playoffs because it tests your attrition, it tests your mental toughness, it tests your being. It really does. So that's why we win this. We test ourselves. We like the challenges. And no matter how many you go through, it's going to be hard. So anxious to get it going.
Torch, thanks so much. Best of luck.
My pleasure. Thank you.
John Tortorella, our guest. We're back with more in a moment. Presented by Lee's Discount Liquor. This is the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
Reliable service and a brand you can trust. Visit OneShopRoofShop.com. Commercial or home, we can do what you need. Helping build this community. Big or small, there's nothing we can't do. We're the most preferred roofer and we're here for you. Reliable service and a brand you can trust. Visit OneShopRoofShop.com.
The legendary El Cortez Hotel and Casino, Las Vegas's original downtown hotspot since 1941. Play the slots, hit the tables, sip on classic cocktails, and enjoy hospitality the old school way. Experience the perfect mix of vintage Vegas charm and modern excitement that can't be found anywhere else. Whether you're here to stay, play, or dine, the good old days of Las Vegas are alive and well at El Cortez Hotel and Casino.
It's time for Vegas Golden Knights hockey. Let's head to the booth with Dan Duva and Gary Lawless.
Moments from hockey at T-Mobile Arena. Game 1, first round, Golden Knights and Mammoth. Dan Duva, Gary Lawless here. We get closer to puck drop. We'll have the introductions and the national anthem, and eventually we'll get to some hockey here on this Sunday evening. The starting lineups have been posted. There is only one surprise, and it comes from the Utah Mammoth. We were told that Jack McBain, tough guy out of Boston College, was week to week with a lower body injury suffered on April 2nd. McBain is listed in the lineup, and Liam O'Brien, longtime member of this organization, who's also a tough guy, he is the scratch. So McBain in, O'Brien out. That is the surprise from warm-ups on the Utah side. Everything else is pretty much as we expected.
Yeah, McBain is a much more effective player. O'Brien's a better fighter. McBain can hit. He can move around the ice. He can actually put the puck in a little bit. Much more effective player for Utah. Now, he's been week to week. How much of a player can he be in this situation? We'll find out. That's a storyline to keep an eye on. And sometimes the guy's playing at 60, 70%. He can't be as effective as he is, obviously, when he's 100%. Some guys can play hurt. Some guys it really affects their game.
McBain played in 75 out of 82 regular season games. Led the team with 271 hits. Led the team with 271 hits. 9 goals, 25 points. Jack McBain, 26-year-old out of Boston College. We did not expect to see him, but he is in there. And Liam O'Brien is the scratch. Knights will start Mitch Marner, Jack Eichel, Mark Stone, Noah Hannif, and Rasmus Anderson. The Mammoth will start their top line: Clayton Keller, Nick Schmaltz, Lawson Krause, Mikhail Sergachev, and Mackenzie Weegar. So, of course, Weegar, Anderson, and Hannifin, all former Calgary defensemen. Gary, we've seen plenty of Marner, Eichel, and Stone during John Tortorella's games, but we haven't seen them start together very much.
No, that's a little bit of a different wrinkle, and I think it's John Tortorella kind of trying to put his best foot forward. This is what we've got. You guys have talked a lot about how talented you are. Well, we got some talent, too, and you're going to get a front row look at them right off the bat.
Taking a look at other series around the National Hockey League today. This is the fourth and final game. In the penultimate game, Gary, the Buffalo Sabres have taken a 3-2 lead with 3 minutes and 24 seconds to go in regulation. They were down in that game and have rallied to take the lead 3-2. Earlier, Tampa Bay Lightning suffered an overtime loss 4-3 against Montreal. That game also required some late scoring to force overtime. And then also earlier today, we saw the Colorado Avalanche defeat the LA Kings 2-1. So this is the 7th series to begin. Tomorrow, the Ducks will play the Oilers in the 8th and final series of the postseason. Bruce Cusick introducing the starting lineups. As we told you, Jack Eichel, Mark Stone, Mitch Marner up front, Noah Hannifin, Rasmus Anderson, the defense with Carter Hart in goal. Let's listen in, get a little taste of the crowd here at the Fortress.
Mitch Marner. And on defense, number 4, Rasmus Anderson. And number 15, Noah Hannifin. And in goal tonight, he's number 79, Carter Hart. Fans rise again with their caps with the national anthem. Performed tonight by Golden Pipes, Carnell Johnson.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's light?
fast gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Carnell Johnson.
And this is the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network, the Stanley Cup Playoffs 2026, ready to kick off here at T-Mobile Arena. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. Dan Duva, Gary Lawless here tonight and throughout the 2026 Stanley Cup Playoffs. This is the 107th playoff game for the Golden Knights, a record of 62-44. Only the Tampa Bay Lightning have had more playoff games since Vegas came into the league, 17-18. But if the Knights win today, they will tie the Lightning for the most wins in that period of time. Of course, the Bolts have won 2 cups and lost in the finals once in that period of time as well. Ready to go at center ice, Knights in goal. Carter Hart net to our right. He becomes the 6th goalie to start a playoff game for the Knights. Karel Vejmelka making his first Stanley Cup playoffs appearance. He was 5-1-0, starting 7 of the final 8 games for Utah. Jack Eichel led the Golden Knights to a championship during his first postseason. This is now his 4th. Underway in Game 1 of the first round in the Stanley Cup playoffs, the Knights and the Mammoth. Vegas gets it in. Vejmelka sticks it around. Marner to Eichel. Drops it off for Stone. Skating right. Stone pressure there by Nick Schmaltz. Double teamed, and the puck bounces out to center. Marner kicks it back to his own blue. Of course, Mitch Marner's entire postseason career had been with the Toronto Maple Leafs. 70 games, 13 goals there. And now in this postseason with the Vegas Golden Knights. Vegas forces an icing. There's the whistle. And the Knights will get an ozone draw. Referees today, Trevor Hansen and TJ Luxmore. The linesmen are Travis Toomey and Gil Murchison.
Boy, it didn't feel real until just now, Dan. Yeah. All of a sudden, boom, a surge of excitement, and here we go.
And when John Tortorella has been asked about what he expects to see from his team in the opening minutes, he did not give very much of an answer. But you can certainly expect the aggressive pedal-to-the-floor mindset that has been discussed here in recent days. After the draw, puck gets poked out to the neutral zone by Sergachev. Theodore back to his own end. Theodore has played more playoff games than anybody on the Golden Knights roster today, 126. In they come, Yamamoto after a neutral zone steal. Utah gets it deep. Theodore trying to get it back for the Knights. Brett Howden picks it up and got it out to the neutral zone. Last year, just about a year ago to the day, Knights had a first-round win. Here's a shot. Kick saved by Hart. After the Knights lost it in their own zone. Drive on the left wing from Logan Cooley. There's the first shot of the series. Let's go to the attack. Brett Howden scored twice against Minnesota in Game 1 of that series. Now a loose puck. Gunther's drive stop, and the rebound shot wide. Dylan Gunther scored 40 goals in the regular season. And there he had 2 attempts, and neither one got on goal. 2 Knights collide deep on the right wing. Mammoth take control. 90 seconds in. 0-0. Only shot belongs to Utah. They get it deep on the far side. Anderson coming back, takes the check. Lozon. He steers it up the boards. Here's Riley Smith. Onside with Colasar and Hurdle. Hurdle in the slot. Shoots! Wide left. Hits somebody in front. And it rattles out to the near side, and Carcone plays it to the neutral zone. Rasmus Anderson back as Tomas Hurdle for puck support.
Well, we just saw Utah. They are lightning quick. If you turn it over and give them a chance, they turn nothing into something very quickly.
Weegar from his own blue line started it out. It's cut down at center by Sissons. Now Rasmus Anderson's forward pass deflected all the way down. It'll go into the near corner. Utah gathers, coming to the neutral zone. Kevin Stenlund, he gains the line and then is checked hard by McNabb. Taken out of the corner by Theodore, deflects to Cole Smith from his own blue. Floats it to the near side of the neutral zone. McNabb's quick up, came hard off the stick of Sissons. He goes down to the neutral zone. Fight for the puck is along the near boards. The chip off the near side wall by Cole Smith is back out to the neutral zone. Knights are changing. In transition, a lead pass goes off the skates and down into the right wing corner for Utah. To the right circle, there's Schmaltz. Top line center, sends it around to the left wing. Nate Schmidt, former Golden Knight, last year a Stanley Cup champion with the Panthers. Trying to keep the play going, but the Knights send it out. It's going to go down for an icing. 3 minutes in, 0-0.
Shots are 1-0 right now for Utah. Neither team has had much, but a quick shot from Logan Cooley, and Carter Hart had to flash out the pad. It was a tough save, but a good one, and Carter will feel good about that.
Cooley had 24 goals and 43 points during the regular season. Like many of these Utah players, this is his first playoff game. Cooley is just 21 years old, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania native, third overall pick in 2022. Face off on the right side for Utah. Schmaltz between Keller and Krause. Taken off the near side by the Knights. It's McNabb to play it ahead. Eichel coming up to the red line. He'll send it deep. Stopped and slowed perhaps by Vejmelka behind his goal. Could not stop it. His teammates converge on the puck. It's Hanifin to send it back down low. Stone on the forecheck with Marner. Marner lands a check on Schmaltz, but it comes out to the near side. Schmaltz checked off by Hanifin. And the loose puck goes in behind the Knights' goal. Final score in the Buffalo Bruins game, 4-2. Buffalo defeats Boston. And that game is now over, and it's the last one of the day. Dorofeev in his own zone for the Golden Knights. Banks it through the neutral zone. Trying to get it all the way and could not. Lost the puck, then he deflected a pass. Utah gains possession back at its own blue line. Here they come from left to right on the back check. A steal for Barbashev. Banks it out to the neutral zone. Speaking of Dorofeev, Gary, he was one of a few Golden Knights who was on. Oh, first a shot. Save! Left pad stop. Dylan Gunther with that try. Two very good looks for Utah here in the opening 5 minutes, and two impressive saves for Carter Hart. Knights get it out. Two Mammoth collide in the neutral zone as Vegas gets it in. Pavel Dorofeev played only 8 of the 11 games last postseason. 1 goal, 1 assist. Remember, Mark Stone was injured during the Edmonton series. He did not even play the last game of that series, which the Knights lost 1-0. Vegas on the breakout, thwarted. Pass did not ultimately get to Kolasar. Now it's Tomas Hertl to help out. Slides it right into the dump in by Korzak. All the way around it comes. Hard check by Kolasar. That forced the glove off the hand of Sean Dursey, and he lost his stick as well. Puck came out of the zone. Knights get it at center. Kolasar to Hertl, who shoots. Save with a stick from Vejmelka. First shot on goal for the Knights. Cleared out by Utah. Back goes Lozon. Put it behind his own goal. Theodore sees a man at center. Kolasar at the end of a shift. He tips it in. And now the crowd really getting into it here with the Go Knights Go chant. Left point Lozon. Played it toward the left circle. Intercepted by Kevin Stenlund. Stanley Cup champion with Florida 2 years ago. Dump in. And Brandon Tanev lands a check on the corner boards, but the Knights get the puck. Back the other way. Vegas towards center. Here comes Colton Sissons. Steps right, banks it in. Two Utah players were going after Sissons. They collided with one another. On the opposite side of the ice, Dowd lands a check. And then Sissons came over and checked John Marino. So tight checking here in the opening 6 minutes. Mammoth come in and a drive. Hart the save. A little bit awkward on the blocker's side on the chop by Kevin Stenlund. And now we've got extracurriculars. Krause into it with Nick Dowd. Marner has grabbed Keller. And Stenlund having words nose-to-nose with Sissons. And the linesmen have now separated those skirmishes.
Well, they're not very far apart in distance. They weren't when Utah was in Arizona. Geographical rivals, and real quickly, there's going to be animosity between these two teams. They are not going to like one another. Their fan bases aren't going to like one another. This is going to be there's no other way to say it. It's going to be a series steeped in hate, and it'll happen fast.
We know from Golden Knights history that rivalries have blossomed only when facing a team in the postseason. Knights faced the Kings in their very first playoff series. That worked out perfectly. The Knights did sweep the Kings back in 2018. The second series against San Jose saw San Jose the next year. That was a big rivalry for a couple of years. Knights have seen Winnipeg twice in the postseason. Knights have seen Minnesota a couple of times, Dallas a couple of times, and now most recently the Edmonton Oilers a couple of times. And no surprise that the Western Conference representative in the final the last 3 years has been either Vegas or Edmonton. Well, could be those teams again this year. Knights come out of the zone with the puck. Here comes Marner. Breaks inside the line. He opens up and plays it opposite corner. Eichel is there. Check to the boards by Krause. To the middle. Marner's shot through the top of the crease and wide left. Looked like he got the heel of his stick. Hanifin pinches in, put it behind. Eichel in the right corner. Protects it along the boards. Feeds the point Anderson. Anderson turns and shoots. Deflected wide. Back behind the goal. Taken and centered by Stone. Nobody in front for the Golden Knights. Marner knocks down the clearing attempt from Keller. Handoff. Eichel tried to pull and shoot, but on the back pressure, it's Gunther to knock it away. And the Mammoth get it out of the zone. Mammoth will change. Knights retrieve the puck in their own zone. Theodore to McNabb near side. Forward to Stone. Up to the blue. He winds. He shoots. Hit the post. Mark Stone with a big slap shot. And that one beats Vejmelka on the blocker's side, but it rang the iron. Play is back out at center. Utah gets it in. Icing waved off. Theodore back takes the check as he rims it near boards. Barbashev has support with McNabb. Tried the home run pass, but it was knocked down to the neutral zone, hoping for Dorofeev. Mammoth breakout pass knocked down by McNabb. He lost it. Barbashev gets it for the Knights. In come Howden and Dorofeev. Howden shoots. Glove save. From the left circle, Howden trying to go short post. Dorofeev to the net front. And another skirmish ensues, this time in front of the Utah goal.
Cooley comes in late and gives Ivan Barbashev a little bit of a cheap shot. That is, Logan Cooley is a competitive guy. He is going to try and start trouble. Mark Stone almost got his team on the board 1-0 with a howitzer from just inside the blue line. Leaves a big dent and scratch on the freshly painted post.
And 4 goals in 10 playoff games last year. 41 in his postseason career for Mark Stone. 0-0 in this one. 12:46 to go, first period. Presented by Lee's Discount Liquor. This is the Stanley Cup Playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the rewards program that loves it when you date night, bet the perfect parlay, lounge poolside, oh, shiatsu, bottle service. Yeah, hit me. Shop till you drop. And then some. Earn and redeem on countless amazing experiences at MGM Resorts. This is MGM Rewards. Why be a guest when you can be a member? Visit MGMRewards.com for more. Earning and redemption limitations may apply to certain purchases in certain states.
It's time to upgrade your roofing and solar experience, and Cooper Roofing and Solar has you covered. Literally. From re-roofing to deck installs, roof tune-ups, skylights, and more, they do it all. Right now, subscribe to Cooper's maintenance plan and get a 15% discount on roof maintenance. Keep your roof in top shape, avoid emergency repairs, and save big. Cooper Roofing and Solar is employee-owned and Southern Nevada's largest roofing company. Call Cooper today at 702-688-7940 or visit coopersolar.com. Cooper Roofing and Solar, proud roofing partner of the Vegas Golden Knights.
Welcome to Win City, where a hat trick means more than just 3 goals in a hockey game. It's also when you reach 3 goals in life. You make the perfect souffle. You graduate with that diploma. You land your dream job.
Goal for the hat trick! What a play!
Another great play is scoring the official credit card of the Vegas Golden Knights with exclusive perks and benefits for VGK fans. See if you pre-qualify at CreditOneBank.com. Terms apply. Credit One Bank, for what's ahead.
Back to the Fortress for more Stanley Cup playoff action.
No goals in the opening 7+ minutes. Vegas and Utah, game 1 of the first round. 57 head coaches have won the Stanley Cup. John Tortorella is one of those 57. Only 21 have multiple Stanley Cup championships. Can Tortorella become the 22nd? Andre Tourney, the head coach for Utah, coaching his first ever playoff game today. John Tortorella has done it 120 times. This is 13th postseason as a head coach. Ozone draw for the Knights. Jack Eichel between Mark Stone and Mitch Marner. And Eichel flabbergasted at the linesman, Kill Murchison, and Eichel tossed. It is Marner instead. Bit of a stalemate. Stone chipped it on, and a glove save. Stone just said, hey, if that's what it's going to take, I'm just going to put my stick on the puck, put it toward the left post, snared by Vejmelka to his right. Again, he is a right-handed catching goaltender. Most goaltenders, like Carter Hart, for example, have the glove on the left hand. Vejmelka catches with his right hand.
Vegas is stuck at 2 shots, but Mark Stone hit the crossbar with an attempt that doesn't register as a shot on goal.
So they just tossed the Utah guy out of the next faceoff, so Eichel has a bit of instruction for the guys behind him. Utah wins the faceoff. That's Alex Kerfoot.
This should be icing.
Utah sends it down. Indeed it is. So that group of Mammoth players that were starting to change cannot go off. And an ozone face-off again for Vegas. And Eichel looking to the officials. We want it on this side now. Eichel right-handed. That would be a strong side. Knights have 3 right-handed players on the top line. Marner, Eichel, and Stone. Knights have 3 left-handed shooters on their second line. Barbashev, Howden, and Dorothea. The other lines, there's a mixture. Vegas wins the draw on the right side. Anderson left for Hanifin. High to low for Eichel. Charges left goal line. Eichel behind. Try to tuck it at the right post. 2 tries and it's sealed up. Vejmelka down to his left near the right post. And Eichel skates away.
Jack stayed out. It was an optional skate for the Golden Knights this morning. And Jack stayed out with the scratches. And then the scratches left. And Jack was all alone with Dom Ducharme and John Stevens working on picking pucks off the wall, one-timers, all kinds of little skill stuff that makes him feel better about his game.
Jack spent some time with members of the media when he did finally come off the ice. Had a little chat with him and very loose, relaxed. He was thinking back to random things in high school having to do with his car and missing class. It's because he saw me show up and taking the backpack out of my car. So, looked like I was showing up late for class.
Got it.
No, Jack. Been there. I guess Jack had been there too. Just a little sense of where his mind is today. To the ozone come the Mammoth after all those draws in the Utah zone. Vegas sprung. Marner coming ahead on the left with Anderson. Got it to him. Put it wide right. Puck goes behind and into the right corner, and Brandon Tanev. Stone, Marner, and Eichel try to continue it deep on the right side. But it's pulled behind by the defense and forward Kevin Stenlund. And pressure. Eichel gets a takeaway right side. Put it toward the slot. Stone left. Hanifin shot blocked. Rebound right for Anderson. Looks rink wide. Eichel takes it off the near boards left wing. Back up top, Hanifin. Knights changing personnel on the fly. Riley Smith has joined the fray. 3 points last game, including 2 goals. Eichel left point. Rink wide. A one-timer wide. Rebound to the near circle. But nobody was there for the Knights. Off Eichel's stick. Stone settles it down. Stone. High in the slot, pressured by Krause. Shoulder-to-shoulder collision there. Krause knocks it out to center, and it's dumped in by McBain. Again, Jack McBain has not played since April 2nd. Told he was week to week. Did not expect to see him in the lineup, but was out there for warm-ups and is playing in the game. On the fourth line with Stenlund and Tanev. In the neutral zone, Schmaltz dispossessed by Braden McNabb. Knights coming into the zone. It's Nate Schmidt to bank it out. Knocked down at the Vegas line by Shea Theodore. Knights regrouping as Hurdle fires left from McNabb. Into the zone he comes. Button hooks on the near side is stripped by Gunther. Gunther comes ahead. He floats it toward the slot. Misses everybody. Goes to the corner. Hard check by Barbashev on Logan Cooley. Puck to the points. Dursey shoots. Blocked by Colason. Up and out of play.
Yeah, Barbashev took Cooley's number when he gave him that little cheap shot after the whistle at the other end. And he just drills him into the corner on this one. This line, Yamamoto and Cooley, they're small. They got Stenlund with them right now, but that's a small group. We'll see how they fare as the series goes on.
Tomas Hertl referred to that on our pregame show. And Gary at the other end, a scoring chance, sort of a 2-on-1. Marner had to elevate, saucer the pass to Anderson. Anderson was just right of the crease and the puck was still airborne on the pass. He got a piece of it with his stick, but it just waffled over the top of his stick blade and wide of the net, so not a shot on goal. But it was a great setup. They just couldn't execute.
Yeah, Vegas had a really good shift there. Started by the top line and then continued as they started to make changes on the fly. Their best exchange, best sequence of the game so far.
We'll see if Eichel and Marner can do more goal scoring this postseason than last year. Marner had 2 goals in 13 games. Eichel had 1 goal in 11 games. And naturally, they're both very good distributors. They both had plenty of assists last year. But on this line, you wonder, can they do the goal scoring? Hard check on the forecheck. Got a whistle for an icing against Utah. It's another Ivan Barbashev check. And this time he collides with Ian Cole, the veteran defenseman.
That's a good sign for the Golden Knights. If the human cigarette machine is rolling, and he is, look out. If you're a woolly mammoth, you might get shaved.
Ian Cole, 2-time Stanley Cup champion with the Pittsburgh Penguins, the most veteran guy on the roster. This is 130th Stanley Cup playoff game. From the draw, several players go down in the left circle. Knights get the puck. Dorofeev shoots! Save right in the belly. Pavel took his time. He had a moment or two because there were 2 fallen Mammoth and 1 fallen Knight in the left circle.
J.J. Peterka is bent over at his waist. He got rocked somewhere along there.
Brett Howden is sort of barreling into him.
It's Dorofeev. I think Dorofeev might get him. Yeah, he gets him right in the face with a stick on a follow-through. It's not a high stick. Pavel is shooting the puck, and Peterka walks right in to the end of it.
Yep, exactly right. Good catch. So on the bench, Peterka tended to by the training staff. They have some protection up near his nostril to stop the bleeding. Knights will get an ozone drop on the right side. Nearing the halfway mark of the first period, 0-0. Vegas now at 4 shots, Utah at 3. Sissons wins it. Anderson shoots, glove save. Anderson right point shot, and it's snared by Vejmelka. Only Andrei Vasilevsky had more victories this year than Karel Vejmelka. Vejmelka did have the most games played at 64, most minutes 3,692. And Vasilevsky had more wins, but Vejmelka still at 38, 5 of them coming in the last 7 games of the season. Knights win the draw. Anderson shoots, blocked. Slap shot from Rasmus Anderson. Utah clears the zone. Anderson back to defend. Cooley breaks coming down the right boards. Loses an edge. He whipped it in front. Missed the target, Dylan Gunther. Missed Nick Dowd as well. Goes to the far boards. And now in the left corner. Into the circle. Cooley couldn't find it. Bounces up top. Marino challenged by Sissons. Guides it toward the corner, and it slides softly behind the Knights' net. Hanifin to it. Crunch to the boards. Hanifin has some help there with the Knights' 4th liners. Vegas propels it ahead. Cole Smith to Colton Sissons. Got it as far as the Utah line. Stopped there and dumped in by Marino. Knights take it in their own zone once more. McNabb and Theodore have come on. And the forwards now coming on. It's Marner, Eichel, and Stone. Eichel takes the pass. Scampers up the right wing. Passes left for Marner across the line. Pressured, he sticks it down to the corner. Sergachev grabs it there. Skates around. Using the far boards, hoping for Krause. Marner steals it, and then just missed Stone, who was flashing down the slot. Almost a turnover for Utah. Marner just missed it. Foot or so inside the blue line. Knights get it deep, and Utah goes back to get it. Can they clear? No. Pressure from Eichel. Got it to Stone, but it trickled away from him. And it's settled by Nick Schmaltz in his own end for Utah. Gets a return pass. Comes into the Vegas zone right wing. He shoots. Kick save. Rebound swept away. Off the near boards, taken by Riley Smith. Lifts it out. Tomas Hertl couldn't find it. It was an airborne pass. Then it ends up on the far side of the Utah zone. Mammoth coming left to right. Dump in toward the near corner. Back comes Korzak alongside Lozon. Korzak's 2nd Stanley Cup playoffs game. Send it through center. It gets tipped on its way down, so no icing. Just about 12 minutes gone by in the first period of Game 1, first round, 0-0. Stenlund a shot right wing, Hart to save. Down in the butterfly, a little bit of shoving afterwards. Look out. Kozak threw a punch. McBain was in there, and now Tanev is up. He grabs Lauzon. Lauzon says, no, what are you thinking? And the referee, TJ Luxmore, says, get out of here. You're going to the penalty box.
I think he's going to go 1-1 here. Lauzon is going for sure.
Brandon Tanev is a spark plug for sure.
Vegas penalty number 5. Utah penalty number 13. 2 minutes each. Roughing. Teams will play 4-on-4. 2 minutes.
Brandon Tanev, a fourth-line winger. No goals in 56 games this year. 60 career playoff games for Tanev. Jeremy Lauzon, in his first year with the Golden Knights, had been with a few different clubs to start his career. Boston, Seattle briefly, and then Nashville. Lauzon's 23rd career playoff game today. 0-0, Vegas and Utah. 8:05 to go first period. They'll skate 4 aside when we come back. Presented by Lee's Discount Liquor. This is the Stanley Cup Playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
When it comes to luxury, no one does it better than Findlay Cadillac in the Valley Auto Mall. From the exceptional crossover XT Ford to the superb CT sedan and Escalade, the highest standards in automotive craftsmanship are found at Findlay Cadillac. To place your order, visit our award-winning showroom and choose from our full inventory of new and certified pre-owned vehicles that are available for immediate delivery. Or visit us online at FindlayCadillac.com to place your reservation. If you're thinking Cadillac, think Findlay Cadillac in the Valley Auto Mall.
Playoffs are here. Boomer Sportsbook reminds you to check the price, whether your bets are on the hardwood or the ice. Unlock boosts, bonuses, and non-stop postseason action. Download the Boomers app and activate it in minutes at Ellis Island Casino, Casino Valley Verde, or Ojos Locos Casino. Plus, now you can fund your existing Boomers account at any Village pub. Put your game face on and check the price. When you bet with Boomers, you win more. Must be 21. Terms and conditions apply. Bet responsibly.
There's a difference you can feel when you step into the showroom at Findlay Honda Henderson. Sure, our cars are beautiful, built to last, and our certified pre-owned inventory is one of the largest in the country. But the difference is our people. From the sales floor to the service department, we're focused on you. Because when you're the center of our attention, everybody wins. It may not be what you're used to, but we think it should be. Welcome to the difference at Findlay Honda Henderson in the Valley Auto Mall.
Back to the Stanley Cup Playoffs with Dan Duva and Gary Lawless.
Sunday night hockey on the Strip. Fourth and final game in the Stanley Cup Playoffs today. There were some exciting ones. First overtime game of the postseason. Montreal 4, Tampa Bay 3 in overtime earlier today. Tight one, but low scoring. Colorado 2, LA 1. It was 2-0 for a while. Actually, it was scoreless for a while. Kings got one late, but could not tie it. Colorado wins 2-1. And then just minutes ago, Buffalo 4, Boston 3. Come from behind victory for Buffalo. Utah with an O-zone control. Shot attempt, missed the net. Short post, left wing. Gets by Schmaltz on the far side on the pass attempt. Anderson with help from Noah Hannafin to take possession for the Golden Knights. Brett Howden back there too. 4 versus 4 with Lauzon in the box for Vegas. Tanev in the box for Utah. Anderson, Hannafin, Marner, and Howden 4 out for Vegas. Hannafin forward. Howden backwards. Marner navigates left into the zone. Marner pulls, backs off. Saucers to Hannafin. Extra feed right. Anderson shoots. Knocked down in front. Marino defending Howden. Comes to the near side left. Marner got it to Anderson. Anderson steps right. He got whacked. No call. Play goes in behind the net. Anderson couldn't get a shot away despite a couple of stick checks. Apparently not enough, though, for Slash. The wide 2-on-2 the other way. Here's Cooley. Drops it off now 3-on-3 in the zone. Schmidt put it into the slot. Handled by Cooley. His pass toward Schmidt got knocked down. In fact, it was Sergachev out there with Schmidt. We'll back it up. Sergachev and Schmidt back in their own zone. 45 seconds at 4 versus 4. 0-0 game. 6:45 to go in the first. Eichel comes on with Theodore. Bouncing puck left side. Eichel knocks down a pass and goes the other way. Eichel in his own zone with McNabb. McNabb looks towards center. Slide it backward to Theodore. Watched by Kerfoot in the Vegas zone. Toward the near side end now. McNabb got it to Stone. Drops it again for Theodore. Shuffling to the far side near the benches. Now comes near the logo. New personnel coming on for the Knights. 15 seconds left at 4 versus 4. Now Noah Hannafin starts ahead. Hannafin swoops in toward the right side on his backhand to the right corner. Burrows in behind the goal and flutters it to the near side corner. Stone. Low to high Anderson. Rims it around. Rolling puck to Barbashev on the far side. Double teamed. Joined by Hannafin. Penalties released. We're back to 5 versus 5. Behind the goal for Melka. Nearly a turnover. Hard check. Barbashev creates a loose puck. Knocking over Dursey. But it does go out to center. Utah the other way. They'll dump it in. Well, that's 3 hard checks from Barbashev already in this game. Not even 15 minutes in. Deep in the Knights zone. Korzak tried to clear. Knocked down. It's Hurdle. Hurdle is checked by Kraus. Double teamed on the far side. Korzak in there as well now to help out. Hurdle finds a path towards center. Slides it out. And here come the Knights. Dorofeev gains the blue and rims it around. Riley Smith coming from the right. Joined by Hurdle there. But it's banked off the sidewall out to center. It'll trickle into the Vegas zone with Anderson. 5 1/4 to go. First period. 0-0 here in game 1. Mammoth come in. Shot attempt. Saved by Hart. Rebound in front. Knocked away. To the right boards, Marino, the defenseman, pinching down to keep it alive. In the corner, collision. Carconi lands a check. Knocked over Hannafin, but Vegas gets it out. Riley Smith leading Kolasar to the right corner. Kolasar fakes. Double teamed in the corner, joined by Smith, and now Nick down in the right corner. Centered. Kolasar close quarters with Riley Smith. Neither could get a shot away. Utah comes to center, and Kerfoot dumps it. Look out! Kolasar sends Kerfoot over the railing between the benches. Knights have the puck in their own zone. Action continues. Our friend Kevin Weeks on the ESPN broadcast had the best view of that collision. Knights dump it in. Vemelka hands it off. Sergachev the breakout pass. It'll go down for Tanev. Hard collision. Lozon takes Tanev to the boards. Those are the players who just mixed it up with the whistle a couple minutes ago, and each were penalized. Marner starts it ahead for Jack Eichel. Weaving through center with Stone. Sends a pop fly on goal. Vemelka gloves it. Drops it to his stick and sends it out towards center. 2-on-2 the other way. Theodore reaches in and steals it for Vegas. Eichel back at his own blue to starting to hit for the Knights. 4 minutes to go, first period. Vegas and Utah 0-0. Eichel tried to dump it in. That was knocked down. Vegas will back it up a little bit. Theodore's pass got teammate in a tough spot. Sissons goes the other way. Cooley breaks on the right side. Point where Dursey. Extra pass left. Closing, reaching. Howden knocked it away. Howden gets the puck. Starting Sissons to center. Sissons with Cole Smith across the line. Right wing, a whistle. And extracurriculars now developing with Ian Cole and Sissons. Look out! Extracurriculars away from that. Cole Smith got it in the face. And the referee signals to the bench. They might need an athletic trainer here. Cole Smith on his knees and in pain. Linesmen have jumped in. Anderson in there with Dursey. Hannafin reaching in as well. Yamamoto trying to get into the skirmish. He punches the much taller Hannafin. Linesmen are trying to separate all of this. You have 3 different skirmishes happening. And one of them has continued to boil until at Gunther. And this is all well after the play. But Cole Smith looked like he got a stick in the face at the outset of this, and he went down hard. And when Cole Smith got it in the face, Gary, that's when several Golden Knights players were really upset. Cole Smith stay on his knees and in pain.
He's bleeding.
He tossed his gloves off. You know, if Cole Smith is able to continue in the fisticuffs, he will. But when he throws his gloves off, that's basically a sign, I'm injured. I'm not involved in this anymore. The referees are now conferencing at the scorer's table in the neutral zone.
Should be a double minor for the high stick, and then it should be a roughing on Anderson for the retaliation. But Vegas should get a power play out of this. Let's see how the referees see it.
Cole Smith has a towel in his right hand. He's clearly bloodied.
Oh, yeah.
He's on the ice. The players are jawboning across the center red line near the benches. And now Cole Smith tended to by Kyle Moore, athletic trainer at the Vegas bench. And the officials are still talking. One linesman holding his position between the benches so things don't go crazy again, as the other officials come together and talk things over. Again, referees are Trevor Hansen and TJ Luxmore. Mark Stone representing the Golden Knights. Clayton Keller representing the Mammoth. To see how this sorts out. There have been no power plays in the game yet. There were penalties to Lauzon and Tanev for roughing. 3:28 to go first period. 0-0 here in game one. Last playoff game of the day.
Here's the problem. I don't think the referees saw it. So if they're going to be guessing, it's going to be tough for them to hand out a double minor. My guess is this ends up all even.
Well, what often happens, and we saw it earlier today in the Tampa Bay-Montreal game, where the officials didn't see it. Somebody has sort of communicated there was a high stick there.
Yeah.
They call a double minor, which allows them to go look at it. And in that Tampa Bay-Montreal game earlier today, there was going to be one interference penalty against Tampa. It ended up going the other way with a double minor and the interference.
Vegas penalties to number 4 and 21, as well as Utah number 50. All 2 minutes each for roughing.
So, in this case, Gary, you're right. They missed the most blatant of the penalties. And Stone has a nasty grimace on his face, and he's pointing at his mouth saying, how did that happen to Cole Smith? It's mind-boggling. So why would you not do what they did in the Montreal-Tampa game earlier? Call the penalty and then see if it should stay up or come on. Clearly he's bleeding. We'll take a timeout. 0-0, 3:28 to go in the first. Mammoth and Knights in game one of the first round. Presented by Lee's Discount Liquor. It's the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
Vegas! On behalf of Knock the Injury Law, Golden Pipes, Carnell Johnson.
If you've been hurt, Knock the is the word. Call 702-INJURED.
For Han Nakvi with Nakvi Injury Law. Imagine you've been injured in an accident. Now, do you want an assembly line law firm that treats you like a number and settles early for easy money? Hell no. Call me now for a free consultation at 702-INJURED.
Going on vacation? We're here for it. With kids who turn the back seat into a courtroom drama over whose tablet is louder, whose charger is faster, and why watching the same cartoon for the 100th time is a human right? Yep, we totally have vehicles to handle that. Because whether it's a road trip or a business trip, where your flight's delayed, your phone's at 2%, and your dinner, whatever's open, yeah, here for that too. Enterprise, we're here for it.
When I brought the Golden Knights to Vegas, I wanted to create something unique for Nevada. High Ground Vodka is made from a state-grown rye and Sierra Nevada snow melt for a smooth finish. It's hard to make it this way, but we want to do it right. Distilled in Minden, Nevada, High Ground is an exceptional Nevada-born vodka and proud partner of our hard-working hockey team. If you're 21 or over, I hope you give High Ground Estate Vodka a taste.
Back to the Fortress for more Stanley Cup playoff action.
Somehow the Utah Mammoth are going on the power play, and nobody for the Golden Knights can seem to figure out why. John Tortorella had some words with TJ Luxmore. First of all, Cole Smith is bloody. How did he get bloody? He got a blatant high stick in the face. That has been not adjudicated here. That has been ignored by the officials. There are a handful of roughing minors, and it looked like Dursey stuck his helmet into Rasmus Andersson. So Anderson and Dursey each get minors. Howden also gets a minor, but if you headbutt somebody, that should not be a minor penalty. Action resumes, and a shot comes on goal. Carter Hart makes the save. It's a left point slap shot that comes in from Dylan Gunther. So 3 minors on the play, 2 against Vegas, 2 against Utah. And veteran referee Brad Watson is the supervisor for the series. Imagine that he'll be talking with the referees about how they handle that situation, because Cole Smith got a stick in the face and was bleeding, and yet nothing was called, and they did not call a penalty that would allow them to review it. And this organization, the Golden Knights, is familiar with high sticking penalties that were or were not called. They changed the rule after the 2019 playoffs because of that situation with Cody Eakin. Anyway, power play for Utah, and they make an errant pass back out at the points. They got to go to their own zone. Vegas penalty kill finished the regular season 7th in the NHL. They were not shorthanded in the regular season finale against Seattle. Utah, meanwhile, has been cooking on the power play. While they are 22nd in the league by percentage, of late they've been hot. 14 out of 37 in their last 11 games. That's nearly 38% in their last 11 games. Knights get a takeaway. Shorthanded look. Here comes Eichel with Kolasar. Kolasar shoots. Save Vejmelka with the right toe. Utah goes the other way. Minute 10 on the penalties. Near side right. Feed to the slot. Schmaltz. Tap back. A wrist shot. Save Hart. Rebound. A sliding save. Puck goes airborne. Eichel tries to knock it down. Someone's stick is loose. The goaltender Hart has lost his stick. Knights get it out of the zone. Under a minute to go on the penalty. 2:20 to go in the first. 0-0. Utah on the power play. Sergachev all the way back to his own zone. 21 power play assists for Sergachev out of his 59 points overall. Peterka skates in left side. Theodore defends, forced him behind the goal. Picked up on the near side by Hanifin. Puck to the point, Schmaltz. Down to the circle, Peterka. Back up top for Schmaltz. The lefty walks left and a shot blocked. Goes off the body and around behind the goal. Theodore in the way of that one. Checking his skate to make sure it's still buckled. Out high, straight on. Pass got tipped. Stone reached in. Peterka then gave it away. Vegas coming out. Here's Sissons. He'll bank it off the near boards and in. All the way down it goes. Penalty clock down to 8 seconds. Minute 33 to go in the first period. 0-0. Utah power play in its final seconds. Krause carries in. Stood up by McNabb. Krause goes belly down in the slot like a whale. Vegas with the puck behind the net. Just now Krause gets up. Cole Smith with the puck. Cole Smith, who was bloodied with a stick in his face, well enough to continue. Drops it off Lausanne for a left point shot. Off the glove of Vejmelka wide left. Sent towards center. Bouncing around in the neutral zone, and Utah gets it up to the Vegas line. Stenlin passes left for Tanev. Knocked free. Vegas controls with a minute to go in the period. Howden gains the line right wing. Howden with Marner. Got it to him through the right circle. Sharp angle try. Missed the net. Clanks off the near glass. Hanifin pinching. Keeps it alive. Barbashev. Shoves it right. One-timer. Glove save. Tomas Hertl rips it in. But it's a shot from the right side toward the long post, left post. But remember, Vejmelka catches with his right hand. That makes the glove save on Tomas Hertl. 45 seconds to go in the first period. And the final minute of the period brought to you by Credit One. Shots favor the Mammoth 9-8. And we're credited with 2 shots during the power play. First power play of the series. Saw 4 versus 4 for a couple of minutes. And the last 2 minutes were a Utah power play. So 5 total minors assessed here in the period. 4 of them all canceled out. And now the Knights will have the line of Hertl, Barbashev, and Riley Smith. Hanifin and Anderson to D. Hertl wins the draw. Anderson shoots. Save. Sucked right in by Vejmelka. Rasmus Anderson had 7 goals in 33 games with the Knights. Finished the year with 17. His career high was 11. He had 11 last year and 11 the year before. Came to the Golden Knights and had 10 this season with the Flames. Not only sets a new career high, obliterates his previous career high. And Anderson, with an assist last game, finished the regular campaign with 30 of those, 47 points. Rasmus Anderson. Another face-off win. Anderson passes it down the boards. Barbashev and Hertl go to it. Anderson joins the fray with Smith towards the middle, off the stick. Not cleared. Hanifin holds it in. Riley Smith shoots. Blocked in front of the goal. Hertl banks it. And a shot attempt by Anderson. Blocked as well, wide of the net. And it now trickles out to center. 2-on-2 rush. Here's Logan Cooley. Breaks in the right circle. Bodied by Barbashev. Then stick checks him. Got the pass away. Cross left. Back to the right. Score! Quick passing for Utah. And with 9 seconds to go in the first period, it's Logan Cooley to put the Mammoth in front. Had a great chance earlier this period. Here, protects the puck from Barbashev. Back and forth passing. And eventually Cooley delivers the first goal in Utah Mammoth Stanley Cup playoffs history. Lefty from deep on the right side. It was a seam pass. Carter Hart dove back to the near side, his glove side left. But he couldn't get there in time. Well, Utah takes a 1-0 lead. And the Knights' first period struggles continue. Even under John Tortorella in 9 games, they've been outscored 4-3 in the first period. 9 seconds. They put 2 more seconds on the clock now. 11 seconds remaining here in the period. Logan Cooley delivers, making 1-0 Mammoth. 21-year-old from Pittsburgh. 69 goals in 211 regular season games. Today is Logan Cooley's first playoff game. Mammoth get the draw. Another shot comes in on Carter Hart. He drops it off behind his goal, but that does it for the period. 20 minutes complete in game 1 of the first round between Utah and Vegas. The Mammoth score first. Mammoth did more first scoring in the regular season than did the Knights. They did it 44 times, while the Knights surrendered the first goal 48 times. Utah is 30-12-2 when scoring first. We'll have a live interview coming up as Braden McNabb will be our guest. Stand by for that. Shots in the period, Utah 11, Vegas 9. Again, the shots during the power play, 2 of them against Carter Hart. Vegas did get 1 shorthanded shot on goal. So it's 6 penalty minutes against the Golden Knights, 4 against the Utah Mammoth. As we will go downstairs and chat with Braden McNabb from the Golden Knights dressing room. It's 1-0 Mammoth. Hey, Braden, Dan Duva in the radio booth. Thanks very much for joining us. What'd you make of tonight's first period?
A lot of energy, fast pace. We played a pretty good period for the most part. Gave them a chance, and they were able to capitalize. It's early. We'll reset here and have a good second.
You said recently that this is not only the best time of the year, it's also the most fun time of the year. Why is fun important?
Oh, it's why you play the game to begin with, and hopefully you can continue to play it because you're having fun with it. And that's the case for me, and everything kind of ramps up playoffs competitiveness. That's when you're at your best. So a lot of fun, and looking forward to keep going.
You've had a couple of days to get ready for this. What has John Tortorella focused on leading into this series?
Playing fast, checking forward, being in their face, making them earn every inch of ice. So we're going to continue to work at it, and hopefully we can, do a good job in the second period where it becomes a little tougher with the change.
Braden, thanks. Good luck.
Thank you.
Braden McNabb from the Knights dressing room. 1-0 Utah after 20 minutes of play. Again, it is Logan Cooley to score at 19:49. Nate Schmidt and Lawson Krause assist at 19:49. This is Nate Schmidt's 100th career Stanley Cup playoffs game. Schmidt, of course, had come up with the Washington Capitals and part of the Vegas Golden Knights. Run to the Stanley Cup final in 2018, was with the Knights for 3 postseasons. And interestingly, was on the Golden Knights who faced the Arizona Coyotes in the 2020 bubble. And though it was not a playoff game, it was an exhibition game. That's the closest thing to the Golden Knights against the Utah Mammoth in the playoffs. We know the Mammoth have not made it until right now. This is their first ever playoff game in 2 years. It is not a relocated franchise. The hockey operation of the Arizona Coyotes was sold to an expansion franchise. So all the records that were held by the original Winnipeg Jets and the Coyotes, Arizona and Phoenix, they are still in Arizona. Those numbers, that history, all of that does not continue to Salt Lake City. Everything that's happening for Utah, it's the first time ever, even though the hockey operation of the Arizona Coyotes was sold to Utah prior to last season. But, again, the Knights did play the Coyotes in an exhibition tune-up game in the Edmonton bubble, and Nate Schmidt played for Vegas in that game. Aiden Hill was the number 3 goalie for the Coyotes in that game. There were 5 Golden Knights players in that one who are available for the Knights now, and 4 players on the Utah side, et cetera, et cetera. Just a little bit of history. But it is not truly the first playoff game for the Mammoth until today. It's Cooley from Nate Schmidt and Lawson Krause in 1949. Intermission report coming up with Ryan Wallace. Before we get to that, we'd like to tell you that today's game title partner is your Southern Nevada Toyota Dealers Association. Thank you from the Golden Knights to the Southern Nevada Toyota Dealers Association. 1-0 Utah after 1 in Game 1. Ryan Wallace will be with you next. Presented by Lee's Discount Liquor, this is the Stanley Cup Playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
The biggest names in the game.
Quickly in. Here's Giroux going to the net. Shoots one. He scores!
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Broker license number 1001607.LLC.
You got it, go Galindo.
I'm Josh Galindo, owner of Galindo Group Real Estate. We're not just a real estate company, we're a lifestyle brokerage with over 20 years of experience. When you work with us, you get more than a realtor. You get an entire team dedicated to creating an experience you'll love. From start to finish, we make buying or selling your home smooth, fun, and completely stress-free.
You got it, go Galindo. 702-820-HOME.
GalindoGroupRealestate.com.
It's game night at Raising Cane's. And we're serving the realm with a feast of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy, crinkle-cut fries, garlicky, buttered Texas toast, and cane sauce. Skate in before the puck drops or after the game stops. It's always nighttime at Cane's. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Go, Knights, go.
Hi, I'm attorney Adam Kuttner. I grew up playing hockey. To win in hockey, you have to be aggressive, you have to work hard, and you have to have a great team. And it's no different when I'm representing my clients in their personal injury cases. My team and I work hard to get you the maximum settlement as quickly as possible, because winning is everything.
If you've been injured in an accident, ask attorney Adam Kuttner, 702-382-0000. That's 382-0000.
Happy Hour at Lee's Discount Liquor is on. Monday to Thursday, 4 to 7 p.m. Get up to 50% off on selected items. In-store only. From craft beers, crisp wines, top shelf spirits, and new items every week. Clock out, swing by your nearest Lee's, and save big. Lee's Discount Liquor. Make your weeknights taste better. 21 plus only. In-store only. While supplies last. Please drink responsibly.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the rewards program that loves it when you date night, bet the perfect parlay, lounge poolside, ooh, shiatsu, bottle service, yeah, hit me, shop till you drop, and then some. Earn and redeem on countless amazing experiences at MGM Resorts. This is MGM Rewards. Why be a guest when you can be a member? Visit MGMRewards.com for more. Earning and redemption limitations may apply to certain purchases in certain states.
Ouch! Checked from behind. Man, that's gotta hurt. I'd hire Morgan & Morgan if I were them. What? Yeah, Dan, America's largest injury law firm. They serve up justice, ice, cold, law. Know what I mean? I guess. Their gloves come off when they fight for you. Okay. I'm talking a settlement slap shot. Shouldn't we be talking about the game? Yeah, Dan. Morgan & Morgan.
Official partner of the Vegas Golden Knights. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Here's Ryan Wallace with the Intermission Report on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
The Vegas Golden Knights Foundation supports exemplary Las Vegas nonprofit organizations that make a positive impact in the local community with a focus on 5 pillars: youth, sports, health and wellness, education, first responders and veterans, and hunger and homelessness. For more information on the Vegas Golden Knights Foundation or to make a donation, visit vegasgoldenknights.com/community. It's the Intermission Report. The Golden Knights trailing the Utah Mammoth 1-0 after the first period of play. Taking a look at the highlights in that first period, it was fairly even, incredibly physical. Very physical first period there, and it looked like we were going to get out of the first period scoreless, 0-0, but the Mammoth, they were able to find a goal with 11 seconds left in the first period on a one-timer from Logan Cooley.
It now trickles out to center. 2-on-2 rush. Here's Logan Cooley. Breaks in the right circle. Bodied by Barbashev. Then stick checks him. Got the pass away. Cross left. Back to the right. Score! Quick passing for Utah. And with 9 seconds to go in the first period, it's Logan Cooley to put the Mammoth in front.
First goal of the postseason for Logan Cooley. The assist to Nate Schmidt and Lawson Krause, 1949 of the first period. Made it 1-0 Utah. That's where we stand after the first period of play. We'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Earlier today, the Avalanche defeated the Kings 2-1. The Canadiens edged out the Lightning 4-3 in overtime, and the Sabres defeated the Bruins 4-3. Here, the Vegas Golden Knights are trailing the Utah Mammoth 1-0 after the first period of play. Hey, Golden Knights fans, we know you do anything for a win and an ice cold Bud Light, because whether you're cheering in the arena or parked on the couch, the clean and crisp taste of Bud Light turns a win into a win-win. Bud Light, easy to drink and easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. We're back with more in a moment, presented by Lee's Discount Liquor. You're listening to the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
Hi, I'm attorney Adam Kuttner. I grew up playing hockey. To win in hockey, you have to be aggressive, you have to work hard, and you have to have a great team. And it's no different when I'm representing my clients in their personal injury cases. My team and I work hard to get you the maximum settlement as quickly as possible, because winning is everything.
If you've been injured in an accident, ask attorney Adam Kuttner, 702-382-0000. That's 382-0000.
Your Vegas Golden Knights try to elevate hockey to an art form. Similarly, the team at Toshiba America Business Solutions empowers the art of business with award-winning copiers, printers, document management solutions, and digital signage that help you engage and delight your customers. As an official partner of the Vegas Golden Knights, Toshiba America Business Solutions works overtime to make you and your documents look good. And with the best service in town, you'll never find your business in the penalty box. Look for us at business.toshiba.com. Toshiba, official partner of the Vegas Golden Knights.
For years, everyone thought Verizon had the best network, because they did. But now the best mobile network in the U.S. is T-Mobile. T-Mobile's network has the most advanced 5G, with more towers, and their signal reaches further than ever. So you can text and Insta-talk and say, "You won't believe where I am."
T-Mobile has the best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data 1H 2025. See T-Mobile.com/network.
Hey, Vegas. Hungry for game day? Nacho Daddy, proud sponsor of your Vegas Golden Knights, has you covered with winning specials. Suit up for the return of the Golden Knight Nachos, stacked with marinated filet mignon, gooey cheese, and all the fixins. And here's the power play. Show us your game day ticket, and your first Daddy's Margarita is on us. Celebrate 9 seasons of Vegas-born greatness with Nacho Daddy. Never a dry chip, always a great time. Visit us after the game and unite the realm. Must be 21 or older for margaritas. Please drink responsibly. It's almost time for the second period. But first, here's Ryan Wallace with the intermission wrap-up on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
The Golden Knights will go on the road for games 3 and 4 of their first-round series against Utah. Join the team's official watch party for Game 3 on Friday at Circa's Stadium Swim. There will be giveaways and raffle prizes for all fans in attendance, as well as appearances and performances from the VGK cast. Fans must be 21 or older to attend Friday's watch party at Stadium Swim. See you there. It's the intermission report. The Golden Knights trailing the Utah Mammoth 1-0 after the first period of play. Stats of the period are presented by Foley Family Wines. Shots 11-9. The edge to Utah in that first period. Hit 17-13. The edge there to the Vegas Golden Knights. Utah 0 for 1 on the power play. Vegas, no power play opportunities in that first period. The Mammoth charged with 7 giveaways, 2 takeaways, 7 block shots. Vegas 4 giveaways, 3 takeaways, and 4 block shots, as you can see there with the hits. An incredibly physical first period, which is to be expected. Like, this is the difference in intensity when you get into the postseason. There wasn't a player on the ice on either side of the equation, either side of the ledger, that was pulling any punches in that first period. Ivan Barbashev was an absolute monster. At least three bone-rattling hits for the Vegas Golden Knights in that first period. Keegan Colasar, he took Alexander Kerfoot into the bench area. I mean, everybody was throwing the body. And you want to see that. That's a good sign from both sides. Now, a lot of extracurriculars after whistles. That was an interesting layer to this game as well, or at least the first period, because the more animosity you build inside of a series, the higher the intensity you're going to get to, the better the hockey's going to be. And I think for the Golden Knights, they created a lot of really good looks. Obviously, Mark Stone rings one off the post early on in the period. You'd love for that one to fall, but it seemed to completely catch Karel Vejmelka off guard. So something to keep an eye on there. I thought Mitch Marner had some good jump. Jack Eichel certainly assertive, taking the puck to the net. Rasmus Andersson continues to activate for the Golden Knights. He was close on a couple of occasions. But I think for the Golden Knights, you look at that first period, and where Utah was successful is they were able to create offensive chances off of turnovers. And so as you move forward, as you dive deeper into this game, for the Golden Knights, they've got to limit the amount of turnovers that they have inside of the game, because that's where Utah can do a lot of their damage. Immediately off of turnovers, you saw what Cooley was able to do. He held on to the puck. He goes back to the top, and then it's just a tremendous seam pass back to Cooley from Nate Schmidt for the opening goal of the game. But for Vegas, you have to like the majority of what they did in that first period. Now you got to just find the next one here in the second. Second period action's coming up next. Dan and Gary, they've got the call. Presented by Lee's Discount Liquor. You're listening to the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the rewards program that loves it when you date night, bet the perfect parlay, lounge poolside, shiatsu, mono service. Yeah, hit me. Shop till you drop. And then some. Earn and redeem on countless amazing experiences at MGM Resorts. This is MGM Rewards. Why be a guest when you can be a member? Visit MGMRewards.com for more. Earning and redemption limitations may apply to certain purchases in certain states.
At Access, we believe that music and sports are best enjoyed live and in person. That's why we're passionate about providing fans with tickets to the hottest sporting events and concerts around the world, including right here in Vegas. The Access ticketing app is safe, simple, and secure, and you can find it in the App Store for iOS or the Google Play Store for Android. Or visit us at access.com to find tickets to your next unforgettable live experience. That's AXS.com. Access, your ticket to Las Vegas.
Vegas! On behalf of Knock the Injury Law, Golden Pipes, Carnell Johnson.
If you've been hurt, Knock-me is the word. Call 702-INJURED.
For Han Knockfee with Knockfee Injury Law. Imagine you've been injured in an accident. Now, do you want an assembly line law firm that treats you like a number and settles early for easy money? Hell no. Call me now for a free consultation at 702-INJURED.
Hello, I am Nikki Fargas, president of the Las Vegas Aces. I am proud to support the mission of Nevada Donor Network by sharing the need to register to be an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Right now, over 30,000 African Americans are waiting to receive a life-saving organ. You can help provide hope to those waiting simply by registering to be a hero. Nevadans are giving, and together we can save lives. Join us at wearenevadans.org.
Reliable service and a brand you can trust. Visit OneStopRoofShop.com. Commercial or home, we can do what you need. Helping build this community, big or small, there's nothing we can't do. We're the most preferred roofer and we're here for you. Reliable service and a brand you can trust. Visit OneStopRoofShop.com.
Back to the Golden Knights taking on the Utah Mammoth in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
I'm over inside at T-Mobile Arena. Golden Knights trail the Mammoth 1-0 headed to the second period. Logan Cooley delivers the first playoff goal in Utah Mammoth history. Cooley from Nate Schmidt and Lawson Krause at 1949. Cooley had a terrific day against the Golden Knights back in November in what was the second of 3 meetings between the clubs. Had 4 goals and 1 assist in that victory back on November the 24th. And he opens the scoring here. That was a 5-1 Utah victory on November 24th. More recently, here at T-Mobile Arena, Utah blanked Vegas 4-0 a month ago today, March 19th. And it's 1-0 as we go to the second period, Gary.
High danger scoring chances were 4-1 in favor of Vegas. Vegas was the better team, more physical, more zone time, better chances. They just didn't score. Let's see what the second brings us, Dan.
No power plays yet for the Golden Knights. Utah had 1, did not score. 2 shots. Vegas had 1 shorthanded shot on goal. Underway in the second, Knights in gold, Utah in white with black numbers and light blue trim. Hannafin's breakout pass was intercepted. Utah converging on the puck. Schmaltz tried to drop it in front, didn't work. Sergachev threw it in front, and it careens out to the right wing side. Krause keeps it alive and threw it down to the corner. Picked up by Jack Eichel for the Knights. Towards Anderson at center. Anderson dumps it in. Anderson trying to rim it around. Marner and Stone converge, but everybody misses the puck in the trapezoid. Goes the other way. Krause stripped by Jack Eichel in the neutral zone. Eichel turns into the offensive zone. Got a step, but then a turnaround reach. Knocked it off his stick. Nice recovery by Sergachev. Utah dumps it in. McNabb is back with Theodore. Take the puck for the Knights. Theodore thought about going straight up the middle. Instead, he passes left wing off target. It is an icing. Bring the draw back to the Knights zone. Minute into the second period. Gary, they are still tabulating the hits. At one point during the intermission, they had it in Utah 14, Vegas 17. They found 3 more. So Vegas is up to 20 hits. Utah is at 14. So lots of hits in the first period.
Yeah.
Generally, compared to a regular season game, that number is way up.
Regular season games average around 40 hits. So far this weekend, they're well over 80 most games.
Yeah. This game not too far off of that pace. Knights clear the zone after the whistle and the icing against Theodore. Knights clear the zone. Utah propels it back in. Yamamoto gets the puck. Put it to Cooley. Stick checked. McNabb knocks it away. To the point. Marino left. And a shot by Schmidt. Saved. Rebound is loose. As the goaltender Carter Hart really couldn't move much at all. He had Gunther right in his kitchen.
Yeah, it would have been interesting if that had gone in.
Yeah, I was almost waiting for the referee to put his arm up. Utah loses the puck at the Vegas line. Eichel turns up ice and backhands it in. Knights are changing personnel. Line change brought to you by William Hill. Barbashev and Howden go in on the forecheck. Cooley breaks through. Stick check by Howden. Cooley gains the Vegas line. Opens up right wing. Sandwiched by Lozano and Howden. Brett Howden gets the puck, but he cannot clear. Here's a shot. Blocker saved by Carter Hart. That one from long distance. Vegas has the rebound. Kolasar sends it rink wide beyond the reach of Howden. Dursey checked by Howden as they both went for the loose puck. Dursey sends it ahead. Tie up in front of the Utah bench. Paterka and Lozano came together. Kolasar reaching for it. Howden reaching for it. Howden gets control. Setting up Riley Smith through the left circle. He shoots. Shrugged off by Vejmelka. Rotated to his right. Got it with his left shoulder. Utah gains possession. Clear comes to the near side. Anderson dumps it right back in for the Knights. Vejmelka slows it and sends it over to the far corner. Couple of Knights, couple of Mammoth over to play. Oh, look out. One of the Knights was tripped up. No call. Kolasar went airborne. Looked like a Utah skate propelled him into the air and eventually into the boards. Kolasar heads off. Knights with the puck. Hannafin ahead. Dumps it right corner. Clanks sharply to the left corner. Hurdle and Smith going to it for the Knights. Riley Smith joined on the near side right wing with Colton Sissons. Those guys are starting to go off as Utah gets the puck and it's cleared back out. Lozano knocked it down, starting down into the zone, down right side, down shot, tipped, up and out of play.
Vegas really making an investment in the physicality, trying to wear down the smaller Mammoth with lots of hits. And Keegan Kolasar was coming hard at Kerfoot, and Kerfoot dove out of the way just at the last second.
Yeah, you're right. He was not tripped. He was trying to hit Kerfoot.
Oh, no.
Kerfoot was sort of leaning backwards, so his right foot came forward, which is why, at least at first blush, it looked like he tripped him, but no. He just sidestepped the freight train that was Keegan Kolasar. Ozone draw for the Knights. Nick Dowd, Colton Sissons, Cole Smith. Cole Smith tried to get a shot away, could not. Too many Utah players in his path. Puck back to center. Nick Dowd sends it ahead. Here's Cole Smith. Slides it left to McNabb. Dumps it in. McNabb's 105th playoff game, all with the Knights. 107th playoff game in Golden Knights history. And Gary, William Karlsson missing a playoff game for the first time in team history. Theodore left to McNabb. He shoots. Knocked down. Sissons in front. They score! Cole Smith to Colton Sissons. Tie game, 1-1. Talk about crashing the net. Colton Sissons finds his way to the blue ice. Could the puck get there? Cole Smith made sure it did. The Knights' fourth line gets the first goal in this postseason. Cole Smith behind his back, backhand pass to the crease, and Sissons jams it home.
Yeah, nothing pretty about this. This is work. Let's go to the net. Let's beat them to the puck. Let's push them around. And let's eventually shove the puck over that red line behind Vejmelka. And that's exactly what Colton Sissons does. Welcome to Vegas, Colton.
72nd career playoff game for Sissons. His 11th playoff goal. Had not been in the playoffs last year. Nashville missed it. He and Cole Smith last participated in the postseason in 2024. 1-1 tie, 4 minutes into the second period here in game one of the first round. Utah got it in. Utah lost it. Eichel comes in. Eichel shoots. Pad save. Eichel gets his own rebound. Checked off the puck by Nate Schmidt in the near corner. Pressured by the Knights, but Utah breaks out to center. Stone reached in on Yamamoto to take the puck away. Here's Rasmus Andersson near side of his own zone. Played it out toward Marner, knocked down. And a whistle. Linesman stops play.
High touch.
Gonna have the draw just outside the Utah line. Sissons from McNabb and Smith. They've got that backwards. It's Sissons from Cole Smith and Braden McNabb at 3:44 to get the game tied 1-1. How about that for Colton Sissons, Gary? In the regular season, 6 goals in 66 games. We know that at times frustrated, has been a productive offensive player. Different role here, but even still not producing as much as he's liked. What do you know? Comes up with the first goal of the playoffs in his first playoff game with the Golden Knights.
Well, I had a conversation with somebody yesterday about the Golden Knights lineup and whether or not you would call up Braden Bowman right away, and the response was, let's see how these veterans perform in a playoff game.
Utah gets it in. Opening 5 minutes of the second period, tied at 1. Kolasar backhands it off the near side wall, and it gets to the Utah line. Cut off there. McBain couldn't propel it any further. Utah's got to go back to its own zone. Brings up another point of discussion as Dursey dumps it in. Thrown toward the net. It's knocked down. They score! Carter Hart went to play it around. Korzak somehow couldn't play it at the side of the goal, and Utah takes the lead 2-1. Kevin Stenlund should get credit for the goal to put the Mammoth on top just over 5 minutes into the second period. It was a rim around, and it went off Korzak and into the goal. Carter Hart and J.J. Peterka were focused on the puck. It went off of Hart, off of Korzak, and into the goal. In other words, Carter Hart was trying to steer it away from Peterka. He did, but it went right off of Korzak and into the goal.
It's just unlucky, and Korzak just points at his chest and says, that's on me. Now, how the Golden Knights handle that and how Korzak handles that will become a bit of a storyline.
Extracurriculars after the puck is dumped in on the Utah goal. Pavel Dorofeev into it here. Got somebody's helmet popped off. All the players are locked up tight. And no penalties from this, it does not appear. Caden Korzak appearing in his second playoff game. Of course, he's played NHL games for several years now. He did play regular season games, 10 of them during the Knights' run to the Stanley Cup in 22-23, but did not have any playoff games that year. Made his playoff debut last season. Meanwhile, Knights have veteran Ben Hutton as another option on the blue line, but Ben has only played in 3 career playoff games. He also did not see ice time during the run to the Stanley Cup in 2023. Utah wins the D-zone draw. They get it out. Puck into the trapezoid. Carter Hart backhands it away. Kerfoot in pursuit. Gave it up. Shea Theodore banks it through center. It's sliding just wide of the goal. It's an icing. So Colton Sissons from Cole Smith and Braden McNabb make it 1-1. They've not posted the scoring on the Utah goal yet. I think it's Kevin Stenlund, though, who will get credit. And if it is Stenlund, it would be his third career playoff goal in 32 games.
Hey, well, he's the one that shoots it from the wall, and no one else from Utah touches it.
So. I don't think it hits Paterka.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah. Knights get another clear, no icing this time following the draw. Pressure, Barbashev is steely centered, missed everybody in front. Anderson fakes the slapper. Now a wrist shot knocked down. Barbashev fights for the puck, but it's swept out of the zone. Hanifin will take it back in front of the Utah bench.
Brett Howden is holding his hand. He looks injured, Dan.
Vegas brings it into the zone. Stone, Barbashev, and Eichel forwards for the Knights at the moment. Barbashev goes off, replaced by Marner. Utah dumps it in. 6 minutes gone by, second period. Each team has scored here in the second. Utah has a 2-1 lead. Right now, the goal for Utah is Stenlund unassisted. The shot, Carter Hart sticked it away, but went right off of Korzak and into the goal. Puck behind the Vegas goal. Krause steps away from Eichel. Anderson checks him to the railing. Knights have the puck. Stone looking for a teammate at Eichel and then Hanifin. Lots of pressure here from Utah. Stone finds Eichel coming in. It's a wide 2 against 3. Stone tried to hand it off to Marner, but didn't get all of the puck. Utah goes the other way. 2-on-2 rush. Now make it 4-on-3. Rink-wide pass off target. Yamamoto shoots the puck, but it's wide of the short post. Clanks around to the right wing. Rim around, counterclockwise. Off the stick in the corner. McNabb takes it side of the goal. McNabb slides it ahead for Mark Stone. Captain gains the logo, gains the blue line, steps right. He'll bank it around. Counterclockwise, and Cole Smith is there. Cole Smith got a stick in the face in the first period. Was bloodied. No penalty was called. Sets up the first goal of the postseason. It is his 6th career playoff game. Theodore fires left to Sissons, who uses his skate to get it down. Sissons in the left corner. Protects it away from Dursey and goes behind the goal. Warding off defenders. Sissons check to the boards. Korzak pinches in. Bodied by McBain. Puck squirts in behind the Utah goal. Dursey to it. Cole Smith intercepts. With Nick Dowd and Sissons now left corner. Sissons, the righty on his forehand, then backhand. He is dispossessed. Loose puck to the near side. Korzak took the check from McBain. Smith keeps it going. Redirect just over the goal. Korzak trying to earn some redemption there with a score of his own. Just missed.
Yeah, it's a great sign that he comes out on that shift after having that mishap and immediately goes to work.
Breakout pass directed deep by Tomas Hertl. Hertl charging from the left, Kolasar from the right. Kolasar checks Schmidt. Puck comes up the near boards. Utah does work out to center. Paterka starts Carconi and cut off at the line. Hoisted back forward by Riley Smith for the Knights. All the way in it goes, no icing. Nate Schmidt back to play it for Utah. 2-1 Mammoth, 11:30 to go second period. Vegas challenging the breakout. Loose puck near the center red. Swatted in by Rasmus Anderson. Marino goes back, missed the puck. Smith steals it. Smith centers, jammed over the goal by Hertl. Hertl to Riley Smith in the right corner. Whips it out to the left point, but under the stick of Hanifin. And then he pokes it away from Carconi. Kolasar checks Carconi. Knights get the puck back. Theodore, quick forward pass. Smith gains the line. Hertl on the right. Shot attempt blocked. Hertl again. Right point, Theodore shoots. Deflected into the catching mitt of Vejmelka. Riley Smith flashing in front. Vejmelka snares it with the glove on his right hand.
A good push from the Golden Knights after that strange goal. And Korzak almost got it even, Danny. Little pass from the blue line. He tips it on the net, misses. But a good shift good response from Kate.
Kevin Stenlund from Sean Dursey and Ian Cole at 5:07 as the Utah in front 2-1. 10:56 to go in the second period. Presented by Lee's Discount Liquor. You're listening to the Stanley Cup Playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
Hey, Golden Knights fans, when we win, you win. That's because Buffalo Wild Wings is giving away 6 free wings with a $10 minimum purchase anytime the Golden Knights win a preseason, regular season, or playoff game. This Win for Wings promotion is valid for 2 days after each qualifying game at all B-Dub Sports Bar locations throughout the Vegas area. Get your 6 free wings on top of great drink specials, including some of the best happy hour and late night prices Vegas has to offer throughout hockey season at your local Buffalo Wild Wings, a proud partner of the Vegas Golden Knights.
If you're injured in an accident, here are the things that matter. Who you hire to represent you matters.
Where they live may seem like it doesn't matter. It matters.
The Richard Harris Law Firm employs over 150 local people.
Trabajamos aquí.
We live right here. We know Nevada. We know the courts. And we know how to win.
If you're injured in an accident, who you hire to represent you matters. The Richard Harris Law Firm, 444-4444.
Doug. There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means sitting front row at a comedy show.
Hey everyone, check out this guy and his bird. What is this, your first date?
Oh, no, we help people customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual together. We're married. Me to a human, him to a bird.
Yeah, the bird looks out of your league anyways.
Only pay for what you need at LibertyMutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hey Golden Knights fans, it's Shea Theodore. Let's get back to the action with Dan and Gary.
Well, the game was tied for a grand total of 1 minute and 23 seconds. Utah got one late in the first. Knights tied it early in the second, but that tie score has been broken once more. Utah back in front. Stenlin from Jersey and Cole. Under 11 minutes to go in the middle period. Vegas left to right, they get it in. Pamelka, side of his net, steers it behind. Dorofeev, Howden, and Barbashev in pursuit. Puck came off the boards. Uyghur banks it away from Howden. Utah breaks out. Lead pass going right wing. An extra step. Carconi looking toward the middle. Through the blue ice with a pass. Nobody home. Now out in front. Another pad stop. Rebound off the post. Taken by the Knights. Lifted out by Theodore. Scramble around the net. The group heads off for Utah.
Now some good fortune for Vegas there.
Now Utah guilty of icing with 10:03 to go in the second.
Got a little scrambly, and it is amazing. Utah, they are so opportunistic. They are quick strike. You give them a chance, a little bit of an opening, they get it on the net.
Carter Hart makes two pad saves at close range, and then the last attempt from Yamamoto goes off the outside of the right post. At a sharp angle from deep on the right side. Carter Hart had pushed out to prevent another opportunity from over in that direction. Two saves there for Hart. Ozone draw for the Knights, but Utah wins it. Lawson Krause pulls it away from Eichel and banks it to the center ice neutral zone with Utah and Golden Knights benches over on that far side. Now near side of center, Anderson dumps it in. Softly it goes counterclockwise. Utah takes it. Pressure from Marner. Nate Schmidt lifts it out just before Marner arrives. Hannafin hustling, wins the race to ensure an icing.
The linesman called that correctly and quickly. Lawson Krause was heavy on the heels of Noah Hannafin, and if they had gone into the boards, it could have been dangerous. Referee, the linesman makes sure he blows it down because it was icing and prevents that collision. Krause is a big man.
6'4", 220. Drafted by Florida, but really was an Arizona Coyote from the outset. 666 NHL games for Lawson Krause. One of four players who the Knights saw during that 2020 exhibition in the playoffs when it was still the Coyotes. Knights with the puck, coming out of their own zone. Eichel starts it toward Hannafin, but the pass got tipped by Tanev. Stenlin backs it up. Forward through center. Hannafin knocks it down at the Vegas line. Vegas changing players. Hannafin realizes his stick is broken. He drops it and heads to the bench. Knights get the puck in. Cole Smith nicked down, and Colton Sissons with pressure, forcing an errant pass that's a clear, but taken at center by Korzak. He tried to send it in, but the whistle stops play during the draw to the neutral zone. 9 minutes to go in the second period. Utah 2, Vegas 1. And we will have ourselves immediate timeout. Utah now with 19 shots on goal, 8 in this period. Vegas with 15 shots on goal, 6 in this period. Sissons for the Knights. Cooley and Stenlin for the Mammoth. We'll be right back. Presented by Lee's Discount Liquor. This is the Stanley Cup Playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
The Golden Knights have one mission at T-Mobile Arena. Protect this fortress. And the Golden Knights aren't alone. T-Mobile Arena gets 24/7 power protection from EcoStruxure, the advanced IoT platform from Schneider Electric. With EcoStruxure, Arena staff can monitor every building system from a single screen. The result? Energy savings, comfortable fans, and a building ready for anything. That's EcoStruxure from Schneider Electric. Innovation at every level.
It's time to upgrade your roofing and solar experience, and Cooper Roofing and Solar has you covered. Literally. From re-roofing to deck installs, roof tune-ups, skylights, and more, they do it all. Right now, subscribe to Cooper's maintenance plan and get a 15% discount on roof maintenance. Keep your roof in top shape, avoid emergency repairs, and save big. Cooper Roofing and Solar is employee-owned and Southern Nevada's largest roofing company. Call Cooper today at 702-688-7940 or visit coopersolar.com. Cooper Roofing and Solar, proud roofing partner of the Vegas Golden Knights.
Ouch! Checked from behind. Man, that's gotta hurt. I'd hire Morgan & Morgan if I were them. What? Yeah, Dan, America's largest injury law firm. They serve up justice, ice, cold, law. Know what I mean? I guess. Their gloves come off when they fight for you. Okay. I'm talking a settlement slapshot. Shouldn't we be talking about the game? Yeah, Dan, Morgan & Morgan.
Official partner of the Vegas Golden Knights. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Back to the Stanley Cup playoffs with Dan Duva and Gary Lawless.
Golden Knights trail the Mammoth 2-1. 9 minutes to go, second period. All the goals at even strength. Utah has the game's lone power play, did not score. Registered 2 shots. Knights had 1 shorthanded shot. If you were to go back and watch the infractions at 16:32 of the first period, you would assume that the Knights would have had at least a power play, perhaps even a major power play. Sean Durzi somehow avoided anything more than a minor for roughing. He could have been given a double minor for high sticking. He could have been given a major for headbutting, but those things were not called. He headbutted Anderson, and he high-sticked Cole Smith, who was bloody, but somehow he only got a minor for roughing. Knights have yet to have a power play in this game. With 8:50 to go in the second, puck out of play in the Knights zone. Utah gets an O-zone draw. Knights, of course, have faced deficits regularly this season. They have come from behind before and after the coaching change. But it's only been a 1-goal deficit. They've not had the multi-goal deficit yet today. They've only had a lead after the first period 1 time since the coaching change. I take that back. They've only won a single game when leading after the first period. But their only loss was when they were leading after the first. That was in Seattle. Utah gets the puck on the right. Line pass toward the slot, deflects away into the corner. Nick Dowd, Cole Smith converge on it near side. Dowd lifts it out, and it tumbles back to the Utah line. Vegas has not trailed after 2 periods since John Tortorella took over. They've had a lead 4 times. They've been tied after 2 4 times. Side of the Vegas net, Carter Hart covers it up. When tied after 2, the Knights are 4-0. When leading after 2, they're 3-0-1. Again, the Knights have not trailed after 2 periods under John Tortorella in 8 games. They are trailing right now 2-1 with 8:15 to go in the second period. Goals by period, Gary, under John Tortorella, outscoring opponents in the second period 14-8 plus 7. Outscoring opponents in the third period 15-4 plus 11. Whereas the first period, it was 3-3, and obviously today it was -1. So that's a habit for this team with Bruce Cassidy as coach and with John Tortorella as coach. Knights win the D-zone draw. McNabb looks far side, and he's got Barbashev in the neutral zone. Stone tried to push it in, could not. Stretch pass intercepted. Intended target was Dylan Gunther, cherry picking at the Vegas line. McNabb knocked it down. Fight for the puck is at the Utah line. Stone, Eichel, and Marner, forwards for the Knights. And Utah takes possession, and I shouldn't say that. It's Stone, Eichel, and Barbashev for the Knights. It was Marner to start there, but John Tortorella has adjusted things in game as he told us he would. Stone dealing with 2 Mammoth players. Nate Schmidt reaching for the puck. He's got an all-white stick. Sort of disappears from this distance when you look at white ice. Stone, a 2-on-2, make it a 3-on-2. Now Stone on the right, he shoots. Save, rebound goes behind. Stone still with it, left corner. Stone to the point. Taken toward the right side by Eichel. He shoots. High and wide left. McNabb pinching down the boards, could not get to it. It rattles out to center. Knights tag up. Eichel pressured in the neutral zone. Barbashev curls back. Rink wide left, Hanifin dumps it in. Clockwise around to the near boards right. Dorofeev reversed it for the Knights. Howden and then Marner deep on the left wing side. Marner double team to the corner, tries to escape to the trapezoid. He's centered up the slot. Anderson reels it in. The righty grabbed it on his backhand, turns forehand, and as he's pressured by Cooley, sends it down low. Dorofeev, side of the net, had it bounce off his stick. Utah manages to clear. Anderson, look at it. Gets tangled up in the neutral zone with Keller. Vegas has the puck. Hanifin shoots, blocked. Rebound, Dorofeev shoots through the net mouth and wide. Right point, Anderson holds it in. Left for Hanifin, he shoots. Off a body in front. Left to Dorofeev at the corner. Marner behind. Sends it left and a shot. Fluttered on goal. Loose puck. Trickles and now taken by the Mammoth behind the goal for safety. Attempt to clear. Gets out of the zone. Slow moving puck. No icing. Carter Hart banks it off the near boards. It's intercepted. Drop pass goes to Tanev. Try to wrap it around. Hart the save. And it's Riley Smith to get the puck for the Knights. He is checked on the stick by Stenlin. Vegas gets it out of the zone. Now the fourth line has been pesky from the Mammoth. Kevin Stenlin, Brandon Tanev, and Jack McBain, who we did not expect to play today. Thought it would be Liam O'Brien. Tanev wipes out of the neutral zone. Puck is set in by the Mammoth. Tanev was clutching his face. I don't know if he's trying to sell a penalty or something. There's a shot from the left wing by Kerfoot. Save. Rebound knocked away. Hurdle's got it for the Knights. He went down to the neutral zone and stayed on his belly and reached for his face. I don't know if he didn't look like anything nefarious occurred. He was just perhaps trying to convince the officials that he had been victim of a penalty. Did not appear so. Utah sends it in. Tip puck, so no icing. 5 1/4 to go, second period. Utah leads it 2-1. Riley Smith on a loose puck. He dumps it in. Sends it around the rim, counterclockwise. Wiegert, fanned on the clearing attempt. It trickles to the side of the goal. Left in play by Vejmelka. Knights changing personnel. Final 5 minutes of the second period. Utah leads 2-1. Line change brought to you by William Hill. Dowd comes on with Cole Smith. And now in the left corner, Stone is there. Dowd. Now Stone taps it around to the near side right for Rasmus Anderson. Rink wide left, Hanifin. Threw it toward the net, off a body in the left circle. Dowd collides, then collects the puck. Dowd out near the left point, turns and shoots. Blocked. Dowd gets it himself. Down the boards he goes. Sends it out high. Hanifin a shot. Knocked down in front. Rebound loose. Now down another shot. That's wide. Rebound tucked inside of the goal. Stone couldn't get it through. Hanifin back for Stone left side. Knights changing on the fly. Now a one-timer pad save. Rebound knocked out of the air by Stone, waist high. Whistle. They're going to say a high touch. Stone says no. It was not above my shoulder. Cole Smith whacks the boards in frustration at that whistle. Fans don't like it. From up here, it looked like it was not too high. But the referee, I should say the linesman, says that it was.
Vejmelka got over to seal his right post as Mark Stone tried to pull it from behind the net, wrap around and score. Vejmelka foils the captain.
Timeout with 4:11 to go in the second period. Utah 2, Vegas 1. Presented by Lee's Discount Liquor. You're listening to the Stanley Cup Playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
If you've been injured in an auto accident, your health, your peace, and your life can all be impacted. That's why Anthem Injury Lawyers fight for more than settlements. We fight to help you heal, rebuild, and move forward. Because we don't just win cases, we help you reclaim your life. When accidents happen, Anthem Injury Lawyers drive results. Call Anthem Injury Lawyers at 702-857-6000 or visit AnthemInjuryLaw.com.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
From the producers of The Crown.
You are invited to attend an interview, the position of assistant dresser. For Her Royal Highness the Duchess of York.
Comes a new BritBox original drama inspired by a true story.
As time passes, speculation is growing. Could Jane Andrews have killed the man she loved?
Starring Natalie Dormer and Mia McKenna-Bruce.
I don't want an ordinary life! How ever did it come to this?
The Lady. Streaming March 18th, only on BritBox. Watch with a free trial at BritBox.com.
Back to the Fortress for more Stanley Cup playoff action.
Golden Knights trail the Mammoth 2-1. Utah wins a D-zone draw. There's an icing against the Mammoth. Gary, just to go back to the sequence a moment or two ago in the Knight zone that led to a scoring chance for the Mammoth. Carter Hart had made a play on the puck to prevent what might have been an odd man situation for the Mammoth. He sticked the puck toward the sidewall. There was a teammate in that area, but the linesman got in the way. It was down beneath us. I didn't see it in real time, but it hits the linesman, and that's what led to the opportunity for Kevin Stenlund and the fourth line for Utah, and a couple of close calls. Knights managed to avoid it. From the draw, puck misses the Utah goal. Knights control it on the left side with Jack Eichel. To Theodore, but he is on the wrong side of the blue line. Takes it at center and dumps it back in as the Knights tag up. Under 4 minutes to go, second period. Mammoth in the lead 2-1. Knights have not led in the game. Stone uses his size to create a loose puck at center, but Mammoth have it once more. Nate Schmidt near side dumps it in. Around it goes. Time for the far corner. 3:30 to go in the period. Krause to Schmaltz. Pointward. Leaguer had tried, cut down, and the Knights go the other way. Here's Jack Eichel out with Stone and trying to connect with Barbashev. Did not, but the play stays onside. Barbashev steers it around. Korzak pinches, backhands it back from which it came. Eichel waiting on the near side right. Righty takes it toward the corner and centered. Missed everybody as Barbashev was knocked over. Sent out to the points. Lauzon sends it low. Around the rim, Eichel in the left corner. Righty checked by Keller. Pointward, and it hops by Korzak out of the zone. Korzak's forward pass got knocked away. Fight for the puck is back in the Vegas blue line, and it deflects in behind the Vegas goal. Knights have it there. Korzak with Lauzon. Jeremy banks it ahead, deflects off Dorothea and in. Howden pursues. Utah sends it right back out. Carconi in his own zone. Undrafted winger coughs it up. Pass went right under Marner's stick in the high slot. And out to the neutral zone. Kerfoot dumps it in opposite corner. Anderson back. Hounded behind the Vegas goal. Kind of chipping around. Kerfoot cuts it off and rims it the other way. All the way out to the right point in Jersey. Handoff and a drive by Gunther, gloved. Dylan Gunther, the righty, fires from just inside the blue line. Carter Hart makes the glove save near the right post.
Well, Vegas can't afford to give up a late one here. They got foiled by that late in the first period. 9 seconds left, and Logan Cooley got Utah on the board. Vegas would like to get it even. They cannot let Utah extend.
2 1/4 to go in the second. No penalties in this period after 10 penalty minutes were served in the first. 6 against Vegas, 4 against Utah. Face off on the right for Utah. Stenlund loses this one to Tomas Hertl. Knights clear the zone. Pursuit comes from Kolasar, couldn't get to it. Hertl rushes in, he collides with McBain. Utah goes the other way with the puck, they lose it on the engine. Anderson for Kolasar, now Hertl back near his own blue. Hannafin takes the check, got it forward to Smith, who dumps it in. Every inch being fought for. Utah trouble clearing. Anderson cuts it off, high slot, backhands at left corner. Riley Smith to it. 3 Mammoth in there after him. Hertl joins the fray. Rimmed around by Hertl. To the near side, Anderson. Back down low. Smith plays it up top. There's Kolasar. Smith shoots. Save.
Yeah, good work by Smith and Kolasar to get that puck moving side to side. Vejmelka is big, and he's very good pushing from left to right in the net. It's one of his strengths, and he gets over there in time to stop Riley.
3 goals in the last 2 regular season games for Riley Smith. Finished the regular season with 16 goals and 26 points, appearing in 69 games. Of course, among the Golden Knights franchise leaders in several categories, games played and goals. This is his 100th Golden Knights playoff game today, out of 107 in team history. The only games he missed were the games he wasn't on the team. Here's an icing. A couple of years ago when Vegas had the first round 7-game series lost to Dallas, Riley was not on the team. So those are the only 7 games that he has missed. Played in all 88 in his first tenure. And, of course, last season played in all 11 and the 1 game so far this year. 4th in goals, 2nd in assists, 4th in points. Golden Knights playoff history, Riley Smith. Face-off on the right. It's Eichel with Stone and Marner, plus Hannafin and Anderson to D. Minute 27 to go, second period. Utah leads 2-1. And the draw won by the Mammoth. Kerfoot against Eichel that time. Kerfoot out of Harvard. Of course, Jack Eichel out of Boston University. Here's Cooley, works to the middle, fakes several times, and then is smothered by Hart. Never got a shot off. Knights ultimately with the puck in their own zone. That is impressive work by Cooley to get to that point.
He's a heck of a player.
He's 21 years old. He turns 22 next month. First round pick in 2022. Utah gets it in with a minute to go. Final minute brought to you by Credit One. Hannafin from his own zone with Anderson to get it out. And a whistle and a high touch. Cole Smith will be our intermission guest, Gary. Today his 6th career playoff game and his first point in the playoffs. Smith had 2 goals in 21 regular season games after the trade from Nashville.
A real good addition to the Golden Knights. Came over and has been an effective 4th-line player since arriving. Just had another look at that Logan Cooley play. He turns Anderson inside out. Carter Hart has to make the save.
47 seconds to play in the second. Knights trailing 2-1. Left circle draw. And Utah wins it. Looks like there's a broken stick for a Mammoth player. Stenlund trying to hamper things at the other end. A shot from Schmaltz, saved by Hart. Rebound comes to the near boards. McNabb chips it in. 30 seconds to go in the period. Cole Smith and Nick Dowd in pursuit. Utah gets another clear. Cole Smith at center. Has to wait for his teammates to get onside. Now Cole dumps it in. 19 seconds to go. Dowd on the forecheck. Sissons lands a check on Marino. But it's played along by Schmaltz. 10 seconds to go in the period. Sissons lands a check as Utah gains the O-zone. Near side left, Schmaltz. Tied up by Cole Smith. The Keller shot blocked and a careen to the slot. Sissons clears, but clock runs out on the period. No penalties in the middle frame, but 2 goals, 1 per side. Colton Sissons from Cole Smith and Braden McNabb at 3:44. That tied it up. Then Kevin Stenlund from Sean Dursey and Ian Cole at 5:07. That was the weird one. Stenlund put it toward the goaltender Hart, who sticked it away, but it went right off of Korzak and into the goal. And so Stenlund from Dursey and Cole, the go-ahead marker for Utah. The goal comes at 5:07. Those 2 goals separated by 1 minute and 23 seconds in the second period. In the first, there were 6 penalty minutes against Vegas, 4 against Utah. Knights killed the lone Utah power play. Logan Cooley scored the only goal of the period, even strength goal. Cooley from Schmidt and Krause at 19:49. Gary, that's where we stand. Utah leads it 2-1 after 40 minutes.
Yeah, well, a freak goal for Utah, and that's the difference right now. But give them credit. They defended hard, and they care about keeping the puck out of their own net. They are not... Sometimes you think of a young, skilled team that they're not going to try and defend. This group defends, and it's not going to be an easy offensive battle for the Golden Knights. They're going to have to You have to work for what they get and for the goals that they're going to score. There hasn't been much transition for Vegas so far, and I don't expect that really to open up. I think the goal that the Golden Knights scored, that's the way they're going to get offense right now.
Sometimes the Knights' offense starts to click once they've had a power play.
Yep.
They've not had a power play yet in this game. Utah was 11th in goals scored per game. They were also 11th in goals allowed per game. Knights were in similar territory during the regular season, 14th in goals scored, 12th in goals allowed. But under John Tortorella over the final 8 games of the season, when Vegas was 7-0-1, best record in the league in that stretch, they zoomed to the near top of the list in goals scored per game, 4.13, and number 1 in the NHL in goals against average, 1.88. So with that, the numbers on the side of the Golden Knights trending in their direction recently. Well, we talked about Cole Smith, who set up the goal for Colton Sissons moments ago, and Colton Sissons scoring, Cole Smith with the assist. Cole Smith standing by. Hey, Cole, Dan and Gary in the radio booth, thanks very much for joining us. First, congratulations on your first playoff point. Tell us about that play that led to the first Golden Knights goal.
Yeah, thank you. No, that's a good, hard-working goal for our line. We had a bunch of point shots with rebounds there, and finally got one. It was kind of in my feet, and so I put it back door, and Sizzy was back there and tapped it home. So that's a big one for us.
So what is Utah doing well? What are you doing well?
I think Utah's creating a lot coming off the rush there. They got a lucky bounce there for the second one, but, I like the way we were kind of wearing them down there in the second. I'd obviously like to see a little more pucks towards the net and, get some more greasy ones like that, but I think we were wearing them down pretty good.
It's been a while for you since you've been in the playoffs. How does it feel?
Yeah, it feels great. Yeah, this is why you play the game, so it's super fun.
You like the physicality of how this game has been here? Lots of hits through the first 2 periods.
Yeah, no, it's definitely been good. I think that's something we want to focus on, especially early in a series and throughout a series, just keep wearing them down.
Cole, thanks. Good luck.
Yep, thank you.
Cole Smith from the Knights dressing room. His first career playoff point in his 6th career playoff game. A couple years ago with Nashville, appeared in 5 playoff games. But that's his first playoff points. Primary assist on the goal for Colton Sissons. Obviously, they were teammates there in Nashville. Jeremy Lauzon was part of that team as well. 3 former Predators in the lineup for the Golden Knights here today. Sissons from Cole Smith and Braden McNabb. At 3:44, that's the first goal of this postseason for the Knights. Utah in its first ever postseason. Goals from Logan Cooley, assist to Nate Schmidt, Lawson Krause. And then Kevin Stenlund from Sean Dursey and Ian Cole. 2-1 Utah after 2, Gary.
Yeah, I think that Vegas has to like what they've been doing physically. They weren't dangerous enough for me in that period, although weird to say because they did get a goal, but if that's their 4th line. They need to get a little bit of flash from the top 6.
Braden McNabb registers the assist now in his playoff career. 105 games, 27 points, averaging exactly 20 minutes per game. Of course, Braden McNabb right there with the franchise leaders in games played. 100 with the Golden Knights. Riley Smith, 100. Theodore at 106. Carlson not in the lineup today. He stays at 106. Most playoff games in Golden Knights team history. 2-1 Utah after 2 in Game 1. Ryan Wallace with us next for the Intermission Report, presented by Lee's Discount Liquor. This is the Stanley Cup Playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Still with it. Here's a one-timer and a score!
Sirius XM 91.
Being diagnosed with cancer was the hardest thing I've ever faced. Funny how when I got the news, it was life's simple things that mattered most, like nights out with the kids. As a candidate for a new clinical trial right here in Vegas, I've been able to spend more time with them, making memories, and never missing a family night out.
Comprehensive Cancer Centers. Here where you need us.
Lee's Discount Liquor, party's here. A tradition strong, the way it is done. 18 years
years of tasting fun. 18th annual beer and tequila experience. May 2nd, 4 to 8. Mark the day.
Hey, Vegas. Hungry for game day? Nacho Daddy, proud sponsor of your Vegas Golden Knights, has you covered with winning specials. Suit up for the return of the Golden Knight Nachos, stacked with marinated filet mignon, gooey cheese, and all the fixins. And here's the power play. Show us your game day ticket, and your first Daddy's Margarita is on us. Celebrate 9 seasons of Vegas-born greatness with Nacho Daddy. Never a dry chip, always a great time. Visit us after the game and unite the realm. Must be 21 or older for margaritas. Please drink responsibly.
If you're injured in an accident, here are the things that matter. Who you hire to represent you matters.
Where they live may seem like it doesn't matter. It matters.
The Richard Harris Law Firm employs over 150 local people.
Trabajamos aquí.
We live right here. We know Nevada. We know the courts. And we know how to win.
If you're injured in an accident, who you hire to represent you matters. The Richard Harris Law Firm, 444-4444.
Every day, we wake up to endless possibilities. And for almost 100 years, Southwest Gas has been there, helping build the kinds of relationships that turn neighborhoods into communities, houses into homes, and big dreams into reality. We're fueling everyday life with energy service that's reliable, affordable, and most importantly, safe. Because at Southwest Gas, we're not just delivering energy service, we're fueling the moments that matter most.
Helping your money do more means putting yourself in the financial driver's seat.
Oh, yeah.
And there's no better or more literal way to do that than with a low-rate auto loan from America First Credit Union. Plus, for a limited time, when you finance your new vehicle with America First, you'll enjoy no payments for 90 days. And that means getting more mileage out of every cent you spend. So make your money move. Head to AmericaFirst.com to apply for pre-approval of your low-rate auto loan today. Eligibility, terms, conditions, and creditworthiness apply. Subject to change. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal opportunity lender.
1 period left in regulation. Let's go to Ryan Wallace with the intermission report on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
The Golden Knights have launched VGK Pay, presented by America First Credit Union, as a centralized payment system within the official VGK mobile app. VGK Pay is the smart way to pay for concessions and team gear at T-Mobile Arena and the Arsenal at City National Arena. Fans are eligible to earn rewards known as Fortress Funds, and season ticket members can easily redeem their discounts when using VGK Pay. The VGK mobile app is available for iOS and Android devices in the App Store and Google Play stores. It's the intermission report. The Golden Knights trail the Utah Mammoth 2-1 after 2 periods played. Taking a look at the highlights in that second period, the Golden Knights tied the game 3 minutes into the second on a chip shot by Colton Sissons.
Theodore left to McNabb. He shoots. Knocked down. Sissons in front. They score! Cole Smith to Colton Sissons. Tie game, 1-1.
First of the postseason for Colton Sissons. The assist to Cole Smith and Braden McNabb. 3:44 the second period, tied the game at 1. But the Mammoth regained the lead less than 90 seconds later after Kevin Stenlund threw a puck off Caden Korzak and into the goal.
Brings up another point of discussion as Dursey dumps it in. Thrown toward the net. It's knocked down. They score! Carter Hart went to play it around. Korzak somehow couldn't play it at the side of the goal. And Utah takes the lead 2-1.
First goal of the postseason for Kevin Stenlund. The assist to Sean Dursey and Ian Cole. 5:07 in the second period. 2-1 Utah. That's where we stand after 2 periods of play. Fans, the RTC's Game Day Express service is just $4 round trip to Golden Knights home games from 6 convenient locations around the valley. For more information, visit rtcsnv.com today. We're back with more in a moment, presented by Lee's Discount Liquor. You're listening to the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
If you're considering purchasing a new or used Honda or need to service your current vehicle, go to the Name Las Vegas Trust for exceptional sales, service, and parts. Finley. Whether you're up north, down south, or somewhere in between, you're always just 15 minutes away from a Finley Honda store. Each location has friendly and knowledgeable sales and service professionals. So give us a call or stop in anytime. Finley Honda's been Centennial Hills and Finley Honda Henderson in the Valley Auto Mall. The difference is in the name.
Imagine if every coffee, every tank of gas, every grocery run gave something back to you. With the Westar Flex Reward MasterCard, it does. Earn 1 point for every $1 you spend and redeem for cash back, travel, or charitable giving. Plus, get 1,000 bonus points when you open your card and 1,500 additional points with your first purchase. Everyday spending, everyday rewards. Apply today at westar.org. All loans are subject to approval. Terms and conditions apply. Must be a member to borrow. Share savings with a minimum balance and membership eligibility required to become a member.
Right now at Centennial Subaru, lease a 2026 Subaru Outback for as low as $365 a month. Or get financing as low as 3.9% APR. Don't miss these limited time offers on one of the most trusted SUVs on the road. March to Centennial Subaru at US 95 and Ann Road, where your savings await. Centennial Subaru, a short drive from everywhere in the valley. OAC offer expires 4/30/26. See store for details.
Spring into cash for betting sports on the William Hill mobile app. With the William Hill Cash Rewards program, you can earn up to $500 in cash. Earn Spree Rewards points for mobile wagers made until May 31st. Win or lose. You can earn even more Spring Rewards points for teasers, parlays, and same-game parlays. Sign up for the William Hill mobile app today and opt in to enroll in Spring Rewards. To see participating locations, visit williamhill.us. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700. Spring into big savings this season during the Lexus of Henderson April sales event. This exclusive time brings some of the lowest APRs of the year, giving buyers the perfect moment to elevate their drive. Explore the elegant 3-row Lexus TX, crafted for modern families, or the iconic RX series, available in gas, hybrid, and plug-in hybrid. Both with rates as low as 3.49% APR. Exceptional offers await at Lexus of Henderson in the Valley Auto Mall or online at lexusofhenderson.com. OAC up to 48 months. See store for details. Expires 4/30/26.
The third period is coming up. But first, here's Ryan Wallace with the intermission wrap-up on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
Go on the road for games 3 and 4 of their first round series against Utah. Join the team's official watch party for game 3 on Friday at Circa's Stadium Swim. There will be giveaways and raffle prizes for all fans in attendance, as well as appearances and performances from the VGK cast. Fans must be 21 or older to attend Friday's watch party at Stadium Swim. See you there. It's the intermission report. The Golden Knights trailed the Utah Mammoth 2-1 after 2 periods of play. Stats the period: shots 11-10. The edge to Utah, hits 37-22 in favor of Vegas through 2 periods. Utah 0 for 1 on the power play. The Golden Knights still without a power play opportunity in this game. Utah charged with 14 giveaways, 3 takeaways and 16 block shots. Vegas 11 giveaways, 3 takeaways and 7 block shots. I think for the Golden Knights, the reality is you're going to have to come by the offense the way that they did, the way that they scored in that middle frame. It was just a hard-working goal inside the offensive zone. You force a play, you force a turnover, you put it back in front of the net, and it takes crashing the net on Karel Vejmelka to put that one home for the Golden Knights. So from that perspective, you'd like to see more of that. Just get pucks to the front of the net, get bodies to the front of the net, and try to wear down the Utah Mammoth. The hitting, certainly there for the Golden Knights in this game. Hopefully those deposits will start to pay off for the Golden Knights as we enter the third period. Third period action's coming up next. Dan and Gary, they've got the call. Presented by Lee's Discount Liquor. You're listening to the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
Welcome to Win City, where a hat trick means more than just 3 goals in a hockey game. It's also when you reach 3 goals in life. You make the perfect souffle. You graduate with that diploma. You land your dream job.
Goal for the hat trick! What a play!
Another great play is scoring the official credit card of the Vegas Golden Knights with exclusive perks and benefits for VGK fans. See if you pre-qualify at CreditOneBank.com. Terms apply. Credit One Bank, for what's ahead.
Every day, we wake up to endless possibilities. And for almost 100 years, Southwest Gas has been there, helping build the kinds of relationships that turn neighborhoods into communities, houses into homes, and big dreams into reality. We're fueling everyday life with energy service that's reliable, affordable, and most importantly, safe. Because at Southwest Gas, we're not just delivering energy service, we're fueling the moments that matter most.
Wow, Car Wash is the official car wash of your Vegas Golden Knights. Born in Vegas just like the Knights, Wow Car Wash has 18 convenient locations across the valley. Wow gets you in and back on the road. Looking championship ready with our Wow Max with Knights Defense Wash. Wow knows to be the best, you'd have to look your best. Be sure to follow Wow Car Wash on Instagram for exclusive deals, promotions, and giveaways. For a list of all locations, visit wowwash.com.
When accidents happen, the road gets rough. But for insurance companies standing in the way of justice, it's about to get bumpier. Because at Anthem Injury Lawyers, we don't back down. We fight harder, go farther, and never settle for less than you deserve. If they're not ready to play fair, they better buckle up. Anthem Injury Lawyers. Justice served, millions recovered. Call Anthem Injury Lawyers at 702-857-6000 or visit antheminjurylaw.com.
At Western Alliance Bank, expert business banking is what we're all about. We deliver results by being nimble and relationship-focused. Working closely with our clients, we provide tailored banking solutions to give businesses the edge they need to conquer today's challenges and capitalize on tomorrow's opportunities. Move forward with confidence, backed by the support of a top-performing bank. Discover how we can help your business solve today and succeed tomorrow. Connect with an expert banker at westernalliancebank.com. Member FDIC.
Back to the Golden Knights taking on the Utah Mammoth in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
I'm up ringside at T-Mobile Arena here in fabulous Las Vegas. Knights trail the Mammoth 2-1, headed to the third period in Game 1. Logan Cooley scored in the last seconds of the first. Assist to Nate Schmidt and Lawson Krause. Knights tied it early in the second. Colton Sissons from Cole Smith and Braden McNabb. But then just a minute and a half later, Kevin Stenlett credited with the go-ahead goal. His attempt came on net. Hart was steering it away with his goal stick, but it went off Hayden Korzak and into the goal. Stenlett from Jersey and Ian Cole. 2-1 Utah after 40 minutes of play. This is the first time the Knights have trailed after 2 periods in 9 games under John Tortorella. Inside the radio booth, Dan Duva here with Golden Knights insider Gary Lawless. Gary, as always, brought to us by Findlay Honda of Henderson.
Findlay Honda of Henderson, it's the official car of the Lawless family, and it can be the official car of your family. Go see the folks at Findlay Honda of Henderson.
Gary, I love the phrase that you used to describe John Tortorella, legendary firebrand, in a terrific essay published on the Golden Knights media today. I wonder what you think the legendary firebrand had to say to his team in the second intermission.
Yeah, I think probably just stick to it, keep doing what we're doing. Let's finish a little bit better.
Puck goes out of play just off the draw in the neutral zone, and the linesman indicates an O-zone draw for Vegas. Vegas 5 seconds off the clock.
Vegas has 50 attempts through the first 2 periods, and a lot more than Utah. Utah's got
51 to 36.
So the puck has been in the Utah zone more often than it has been in the Golden Knights zone. Vegas just got to get a little closer to Vejmelka.
In the right circle, Eichel with Barbashev and Stone. They had it momentarily, but not for long. Dumped in by Nick Schmaltz. Top line here for Utah. Schmaltz, Keller, and Krause. Nice control. Barbashev out 2-on-1. Eichel with Stone. Eichel right side. Feeds left. Stone rails it in and shoots. Save. Grazing Vejmelka up and out of play.
Puck hopped on Eichel, and he couldn't make the pass as quickly as he wanted to. And by the time it got to Stone, Mark was fading back and moving back away from the net. Just that little hop gave Eichel a little bit of trouble.
And Stone trying to reel it in. If he receives it and shoots it in one motion, maybe he gets a better result. Yeah. But it comes off of his stick just for an instant. He regathers and then shoots, and still Vejmelka's got to make a save. It grazes his left bicep on the long side. Left circle drive. Knights win it. Dorothea with Howden and Marner. Howden trying to get it to Marner in the left circle. Cooley pries it free. Cooley turned it over. Howden shot blocked. It goes out of play.
Yeah, Mitch Pester and Cooley. Those guys are a lot alike in size and skill with their sticks. Cooley has a little bit more burst. Mitch maybe a little bit more creativity. but both very good hockey players.
We'll see if Pavel Dorofeev can snap into his goal-scoring form. It did not happen last postseason. 1 goal in 8 games. Remember, was injured late in the first round, missed a couple of games early in the second round. Dorofeev leading the Golden Knights with 37 goals this regular season and 35 last year. McNabb shot, glove save. Rebound is free left side of the goal. Marner tried to tuck it in front. One of the Knights hauled down, no call.
Yeah, how could there not be a call there? Nate Schmidt tackles Dorofeev.
Yeah, just undercuts his legs when he's trying to get to a rebound in front of the goal. Meanwhile, puck is on the Vegas side of the ice. And the Knights do clear, but Utah takes it away. No power plays in the game yet for Vegas. Only once in 106 games have the Knights not had a power play in a game. In a playoff game. Utah with Dursey fired it forward. Dursey, we thought, could have been called for high sticking and headbutting, but was only given a minor for roughing, which canceled out back in the first period. Knights get it at center. Kolasar dumps it in. Team high 8 hits. Knights were credited with 37 in the first 2 periods. Sharp angle shot from the right goal line. Save. Korzak with the attempt. Then Vejmelka seals it to his left at the right post.
Yeah, Caden pretty aggressive on the offensive side of the puck right now. He wants to atone for a mishap that resulted in the second goal for the Mammoth. Vegas now ahead on the shot clock, 23-22. Over to that power play situation. The panel on Sportsnet that is carrying the game up in Canada, they were discussing, they thought that Dursey should have had at least a double minor, if not a major.
Headbutting can be a match penalty if it causes injury. If it does not cause injury, which it did not appear to do, it can be a major penalty. Puck goes out of play at the rounded glass by the Utah bench. Knights will get another ozone draw. Again, this skirmish occurred at 16:32. The Knights ended up shorthanded. Anderson got 2 for roughing. Howden got 2 for roughing. Dursey got 2 for roughing. But Dursey should have been given a double minor for high sticking and probably a major for headbutting. They were separate things that he did to 2 different players. It was the high stick to Cole Smith and the headbutt to Rasmus Anderson. Somehow we got out of there with only a 2-minute minor for roughing, and the Knights were shorthanded when, again, if you were to go and watch the whole sequence again, I think most people would say that the Knights should have been a man up for at least 2 minutes, perhaps much more. Utah to the ozone and a right point attempt by Sergachev off target. Knights get it. Korzak sends it out. Pursuit there from the Knights' third line. Hurdle, Smith, and Kolasar. That's Riley Smith. They're going off. Kolasar still out there. Finish the shift. He dumps it in. Cole Smith gets to it. 1 against 2 behind the net. Joined by Dowd, but the Mammoth take control. 2.5 minutes gone, third period. Mammoth leading Vegas 2-1. Here in game 1 of the first round. First ever playoff game in Utah Mammoth history. Mammoth taking on the right, feed right point. And now left for Schmidt, shot blocked. Comes back to John Marino. Former Devil plays it down to the circle. Peterka whipped it in front, untouched. Another shot attempt, knocked down in front. Carter Hart holds his ground as it lay in the blue ice. Marino pinches down the boards to get it to Peterka, the former Sabre. Stenlin from behind the goal. Send it to the point. Schmidt to Marino. Marino fakes around Cole Smith. Knocked it free. Schmidt kept it in for Utah. Stenlin rims it around. Krause at the left boards with Marino. Righty at the left point now. He switched spots with Schmidt. Along the far boards, Utah controls and a rink-wide pass deflects off a skate out of the zone.
Utah it's a weird story. They are the Winnipeg Jets who became the Arizona Coyotes who became the Utah Mammoth.
And statistically, they're not, but of course, for all intents and purposes, they are.
Yeah, that's a trip. They called it.
They're going to call it against Utah. Eichel comes ahead. Eichel through the left circle, delayed penalty. Dished in front, but missed Stone. Sixth attacker on. Theodore to McNabb. Shoots just wide. And now it is touched up in the corner. Vegas nearly scored twice on the delayed penalty. Something they did just a few days ago at the end of the regular season. And the Knights will be getting their first power play of the game. It's a blatant trip.
Utah number 15, Montreal hooking.
Griffin reached in as the Knights were traversing the neutral zone right to left. Barbashev was tripped up behind the play. He was maybe about 5 feet to Eichel's right, maybe 3 feet behind Eichel. And Barbashev trying to catch up to Jack got tripped. So Kerfoot to the box. Knights to the man advantage. They had the 6th best power play in the regular season. Most power play goals in team history. They had 58 of them, which was 5 more than they had the previous year.
And they could use one now.
Penalty kill for Utah in the regular season was ranked 19th. They've given up 7 power play goals in the final 7 games of the regular season. Knights win the draw. It's the regular top unit here. Eichel to Marner, shoots high and wide. It's a 2-1 Mammoth lead 4 minutes into the third period here in game 1. Rim around, Hurdle got it to Jack Eichel. Little head fake away from Stenlund. Marner shoots, blocked. Might have hit Hurdle in front. Stone angles it around. Dorofeev reverses the rim, left corner, and Jack Eichel up top for Marner. Settles a waffling puck, then shoots. Deflected wide. Stone to it in the trapezoid. Bats it to the left wing. Eichel is there. Jack sets up Marner back and forth. Eichel scoring his first power play goal late in the regular season to go along with 27 power play assists. Power play to minute 20. Eichel right for Marner. He shoots. Redirect on. Save. Right pad stop for Vanelka. Eichel has the rebound left corner. Oh, a head fake. And the Mammoth take it away and get it clear. All the way down. It comes to the goaltender Hart. Marner calling for it. But he missed Marner, and it came to Kevin Stenlund, who dumped it right back in. Marner comes back to take the handoff from Carter Hart. Marner towards center. Got to the red line. Backwards for Eichel. 52 on the power play. Eichel gains the line left wing with Dorofeev. Protects on the near side. Dorofeev looked like he had space down the wall, but turned right into the pressure. Now he passes left corner. Eichel threw it across. Stone could not shoot. Tough angle. Marner left for Eichel. Outside the left circle on the near side. Eichel coming up top, passing right for Marner. Marner into the right circle. Hurdle turns. He shoots. Wide. Rebound off the back of the goal. Stone pokes it for Eichel. 25 on the Knights' power play. Hurdle sends it up top for Mitch Marner. Marner looking. Pressured by Cooley. Deflected pass gets to Jack Eichel. Whips it down the boards to Stone. 2 men in front. Feed right. Marner to Hurdle. Stop. Rebound. Score. Mark Stone. Tie game with a power play goal. The captain with his 37th goal in Golden Knights playoff history. The most all time. And it's a 2-2 game. 5.5 minutes into the third. 12 seconds left on the power play. Marner got it into the slot off Hurdle. Hurdle over to Mark Stone. Just left of the crease. The righty slams it home. Double fist pump from Hurdle. And Stone turned to the crowd in the corner and cheered to him before getting mobbed by his teammates.
Stone had a great power play in terms of puck retrieval. Every time Vegas took a chance and it was left off to the side of the net or a rebound, Mark went and hunted it down and got it. And eventually he gets rewarded as that rebound comes to him on the slot.
All but 5 of Mark Stone's playoff games have been here. And boy, that is timely score for the Knights captain. And the Knights power play converts on its first opportunity here in the postseason. Stone from Hurdle and Marner. Knights now in 5-on-5 look for the go-ahead goal, something they have not yet found here in this game. They trailed 1-0 and tied it. They've trailed 2-1 and now tied it. 2-2 with 14 minutes to go. Puck is sent out to center by the Mammoth. It's a lead pass, Gunther right side. He shoots. Pad save. A rebound hacked aside. Carter Hart with calm pad save on Dylan Gunther with 40 goals in the regular season. Vegas with the puck in its own zone. Jeremy Lauzon backhands it through center. Icing will be waved off here. Paterka could have played it. Forecheck pressure. Cole Smith creates a turnover, but then the Knights lose it again. Sergachev carries up to the Vegas line. Came off his stick. Hanifin in the way for the Golden Knights. Squirts loose right side of the goal. Cole Smith and Nick Dowd defending. Dowd forces the play to the far corner where Anderson joins in. 2-2 tie, 13 minutes to go, third period. Utah controls. Sergachev a blast. Blocked up and out of play. Hits the protective netting on the opposite side.
Yeah, Utah, they just come roaring back after Vegas ties it up. Great shift from the Mammoth as they try and go ahead for a second time. The bench, the Golden Knights, they are pumped up. Aiden Hill in the mix with his teammates, and Caden Korzak feels a little bit like he's off the hook for now.
Stone from Hurdle and Marner at 5:33. A power play goal for the Knights. 2-2, 13:08 to go, third period. Presented by Lee's Discount Liquor. This is the Stanley Cup Playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
Calling all Vegas Golden Knights fans, hockey season is back, and the RTC Game Day Express is your hassle-free ride to victory. Catch a direct, fast ride to VGK home games at T-Mobile Arena from 6 convenient spots for just $4 round trip. No traffic stress. Leave the driving to us. Visit rtcsnv.com/Game Day Express for details. Follow us on social media at RTCSNV for a chance to win tickets to VGK home games.
California's #1 casino just got better. Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel is now the only AAA 5-diamond rated casino hotel in the country. Become a Club Serrano member today and enjoy perks and exclusive rewards. VIP at another casino? Trade up and take advantage of the tier and offer match program at Yamava Resort and Casino, voted #1 casino outside of Vegas by Newsweek. You in? Details at yamava.com. Must be 21 to enter.
Hello, I am Nikki Fargas, president of the Las Vegas Aces. I am proud to support the mission of Nevada Donor Network by sharing the need to register to be an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Right now, over 30,000 African Americans are waiting to receive a life-saving organ. You can help provide hope to those waiting simply by registering to be a hero. Nevadans are giving, and together we can save lives. Join us at wearenevadans.org.
Back to the Stanley Cup Playoffs with Dan Duva and Gary Lawless.
Mark Stone had 4 playoff goals last year in 10 games. He's got 1 playoff goal in 1 game so far this year. 42 in his NHL career in 113 career playoff games. 2-2 tie. Vegas guilty of icing. Cole Smith was trying to work around Sergachev and turn on the afterburners to win the race, but Sergachev sort of in his skating path. They bumped a little bit. Bring the draw back to the Vegas zone with 13:01 to go in the third period. 2-2 tie. Knights' first goal was Colton Sissons on a great behind-the-back backhand pass by Cole Smith. Braden McNabb had the second helper. Here the top line, really the top power play I should say. Stone from Hurdle and Marner is the second Vegas goal. Knights have 2 goals on 24 shots. Mammoth have 2 goals on 23 shots. Cooley and Stenlin, the Utah goals. Nick Schmaltz to take the ozone draw for the Mammoth. And Nick Dowd wins it for the Golden Knights. Hannafin turns in behind his own goal. Lefty is dispossessed and he gets it back. Puts it up the boards and out to center. Maybe a rush for the Knights. Here's Cole Smith joined by Dowd. Third man Sissons. Couldn't quite gather it in, but now it is a turnover. Down finds it, hands it off. Left circle, Sissons. Left point, Hannafin. He shoots, redirect, score! Double fist pump from Nick Dowd. Vegas takes a 3-2 lead. A redirection, 3 feet in front of the crease. Nick Dowd, the most veteran of all the Golden Knights, has his 5th career playoff goal. 7 minutes into the third period, and what do you know? The best third period team in the regular season has been hot to start the third period in the postseason.
Dan, this is a pass from Noah Hannafin. He sees Dowd flash open in the middle of the slot, and he puts it perfectly on the blade of Dowd's stick. Dowd just redirects it. What a play from Hannafin. Great positioning from Dowd. Vegas has its first lead of the day.
Utah trying to respond quickly as they did earlier in this game, but Knights take the puck away and the chant is "Go Knights, go" here at the Fortress. 12:20 to go in the third. Vegas has its first lead here in game 1. 3-2 Knights. Utah coming ahead near San Marino. Drops it off. Gunther closing. He shoots. Blocked. Knights have blocked a heap load of shots today.
Oh boy. Gunther had a little bit of space. Jack Eichel gets over there just in time to prevent this.
And let me clarify what I just said. The Knights don't have a heap load of shots with respect to the numbers. They have timely block shots. It's a little bit different. The number can be misleading. You can block all the shots you want. It's a matter of being in the right position at the right time. Sometimes you're going to let the shot come to your goaltender. Other times, you're going to sell out and get a block, not around the crease necessarily, but out near the shooter, and that's what happened there.
Well, this quick strike from Vegas has got Utah. They got to be scratching their heads a little bit. This is what they do to teams.
Scoring on the goal, Dowd from Hannafin and Sissons. 2 points for Colton Sissons in its Knights playoff debut. Icing against Vegas with 12:04 to go and a 3-2 lead. Nick Dowd had been with the Washington Capitals, joining them in 2018, just after Washington defeated Vegas in the Stanley Cup Final. 8 years with Washington, 40 playoff games, 4 goals, and earned his first playoff game as a Golden Knight. Dealt late in the season, gets the big goal, put the Knights in the lead. Utah gets the face-off win. Dursey on the right. Pulls it all the way down to the corner. Anderson intercepts the pass behind the goal. Using the yellow kick plate, connects with Mitch Marner. Up to the red and narrowly onside with Fred Howden there. Trying to straddle the line. Knights get it in, but Mammoth come back the other way. And dump it in on the far side. Carter Hart plays it behind his net. Quickly hands it off. Korzak forward to Dorothea, who backhands it off the sidewall and in. Marner applies pressure. The defense controls. Ian Cole with Sean Dursey. Puck bounces into the air in front of the penalty benches. Riley Smith lands a check. Peterka gets the puck. Slides it rink wide left for Carconi. Knights get a takeaway. Colasar weaving ahead. Colasar for Riley Smith. He shoots. Save. Rebound Smith behind the goal. Smith trying to sneak it in near the left shoulder. Now a point shot from Rasmus Anderson wide. Hannafin pinches in. Hurdle propels it toward the goal, but Ian Cole snares it defensively. Pushed up the boards. Colasar cut it off. Peterka finds an outlet. Utah will settle it down. And clear the zone off the stick at the Vegas line. Hannafin engages on the near side. 11 minutes to go, third period. A 3-2 Vegas lead. Anderson with Hannafin behind the Knights' net. Trouble skating it ahead. They couldn't clear it on the boards. Point shot wide. Taken on the right wing, Peterka. Pass into the right circle. Broke it up. Burst of speed from Cole Smith. Oh, like a a bulldozer there to knock over Uyghur. And now the Knights get an O-zone steal. Here's Cole Smith. Gary, my goodness, just leveled him in the neutral zone.
These guys are energized, this fourth line. 2 goals already in the game.
Sissons with a couple of points. There's a lockup behind the play. Puck is in the neutral zone. Sissons is into it with Sergachev, and just now Sissons and Sergachev separate as they go to their respective benches. 10 minutes to go in the third. Utah comes in. Cooley breaks, feeds the slot, knocked out. Knights couldn't find it. Here's a centering pass off the skate. Vegas gets control of the puck on the near side with Mark Stone. A little bit frantic there. Knights get it up to the line. Marino gloves it down, keeps it in, and a shot. Stopped, it was blocked. Now in the near circle, Keller feeds the middle and a shot. Knocked away. Hart got a piece with the blocker. Vegas gets the puck with Mark Stone. Chips it out to the near side of center. Come off the sidewall, no icing.
What a push from the Mammoth.
The Knights survive it. They got a couple of favorable bounces there. Here comes Nick Schmaltz ahead. Loses an edge, collides with a teammate at the line. Vegas the other way. Rushing up the right side. Howden with Dorothea. Drop pass. Dorothea shoots, save. Rebound trickled around in front. Mammoth get to it. And Dorothea gets stuck on the side of the goal. His stick wedged in the netting. Utah comes the other way. Schmaltz takes the pass off the right boards. Motors in behind the Vegas goal. Hannafin shadows him. Takes him hard to the far boards.
Nice job by Noah.
Yep, and Colasar sends it out through center. Again, icing waved off. Nice touch from Colasar. 9 minutes to go. Stone from Hurdle and Marner on the power play to tie it. Dowd from Hannafin and Sissons. An even strike put the Knights in front 3-2. Knights were plus 47 in the third period in the regular season. Even better than the previous year. They were plus 41 2 seasons ago. Utah gets it in from the left point. A shot stopped by Carter Hart. He pads it and then left it in play. Leads to a near turnover for the Knights as Vegas gets the puck out of the zone. Carter did not want to seal it. He wanted this group to get it out. We got a whistle and a high touch in the neutral zone. Now McBain and Colasar have words. Lozon rushes over, and then, well, after everything, McBain reaches around the linesman to shove Colasar. Stenlund has joined the fray. Now the other linesman has come over and tries to usher the players back to their benches. Yeah, bulldozer maneuver by Cole Smith in the neutral zone, just ensuring that the puck would get to the offensive zone, as his line has generated a couple of goals, and he had the primary assist on the first one.
Mackenzie Weegar gets the wrong end of that collision.
Yeah. We'll take a timeout with 8:20 to go, third period. Vegas 3, Utah 2 in Game 1 of the first round between the Knights and Mammoth. Presented by Lee's Discount Liquor, it's the Stanley Cup Playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
Helping your money do more means putting yourself in the financial driver's seat.
Oh, yeah.
And there's no better or more literal way to do that than with a low-rate auto loan from America First Credit Union. Plus, for a limited time, when you finance your new vehicle with America First, you'll enjoy no payments for 90 days. And that means getting more mileage out of every cent you spend. So make your money move. Head to AmericaFirst.com to apply for pre-approval of your low-rate auto loan today. Eligibility, terms, conditions, and creditworthiness apply. Subject to change. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal opportunity lender.
Vegas! On behalf of Knock the Injury Law, Golden Pipes, Carnell Johnson.
If you've been hurt, Knock the is the word. Call 702-INJURY.
Farhan Naqvi with Naqvi Injury Law. Imagine you've been injured in an accident. Now, do you want an assembly line law firm that treats you like a number and settles early for easy money? Hell no. Call me now for a free consultation at 702-INJURED.
Welcome to Win City, where a hat trick means more than just 3 goals in a hockey game. It's also when you reach 3 goals in life. You make the perfect souffle. You graduate with that diploma. You land your dream job.
Goal for the hat trick! What a play!
Another great play is scoring the official credit card of the Vegas Golden Knights with exclusive perks and benefits for VGK fans. See if you pre-qualify at CreditOneBank.com. Terms apply. Credit One Bank, for what's ahead.
Let's head back to the booth with Dan Juva and Gary Lawless on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
Knights 3, Mammoth 2, 8:20 to play, third period. Sissons, Stone, and Dow for 3 Vegas goals. 3 of the more veteran players on the Knights roster. Vegas gets the puck in. McNabb rims it around. Theodore reverses the rim. Out of the corner, Sergachev played it up the boards, not out. Eichel shoots, redirected wide. Sergachev plays the carom from the corner and lifts it out. McNabb gloves it down. Tried a home run pass there to Cooley. Utah at center. Pressure from Barbashev and Eichel. Mammoth managed to continue the possession as Barbashev heads off. Howden comes on. Line change brought to you by William Hill. Gunther walks in and shoots. Blocked by Theodore. Again, a high block. Not near the goal, but right in front of the shooter. That time by Theodore. 126 playoff games for Shea Theodore. Most of any player on the Knights roster. Ian Cole playing in game 130 on the Utah side. Marner pitches it deep left corner. Pressure from Dorothea. Ian Cole rimmed it around. Cut off on the right by Anderson. Marner right point. Turns and shoots. That's stopped by Vejmelka. A sidewinding action to it. Breakout pass tipped in the neutral zone by Riley Smith. Not Smith, but Dorothea. Then a pulled shot stopped by Carter Hart. Rebound out to the left point and Marino. Marner defending the left goal line. Pass goes around behind the Vegas goal. Shot from the point, stopped by Hart. John Marino lets that one go from the blue line, and action is halted. Utah getting close to 30 shots. Vegas is at 28. Let's see if that one registers as 28 for Utah.
Carter Hart has been so steady since he came back from his last injury, and it has continued today. Made one little mental error that resulted in a miscue between him and Korzak. But other than that, it's been an excellent game from Carter.
He's the 6th goalie to start a playoff game for the Golden Knights. All of his previous Stanley Cup playoff experience came during one postseason with the Philadelphia Flyers in the bubble in 2020. And there were no fans of those games. After the draw that Utah won, Vegas gets it cleared. Cole Smith speeding toward the loose puck, but the Mammoth have numbers back in their own zone. Now Smith gets a loose puck. Cole Smith shoots. Save! Vejmelka. Cole Smith just buzzing all over the ice. An assist and a bunch of big hits. And right there, a strip and a shot, but Vejmelka point-blank save. Utah gets a clear. Knights in the midst of changing. 6:20 to go in the third period. It's a 3-2 Vegas lead. Near side of his own zone, Dylan Gunther in his first career playoff game. Back and forth, Marino with Schmidt. Nate Schmidt fires, got it to Gunther, but he's offside.
A late shot from Gunther after the whistle had gone, and the Golden Knights go after him. Hanifin has him in a headlock right now. Everybody's matched up with somebody.
Can't do that, Dylan. This is the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Yep. Cooley's trying to get loose. Yamamoto, everybody's in there now. Jersey comes in from the blue line and grabs Kolasar. Anderson has a bear hug on Gunther. We'll see what the referees do with this. My guess is nothing will come of it.
By the way, Hart made the save on the late shot anyway. But he had already sort of stood up. It was that much after the whistle for offside. On one hand, respect to that group of Yamamoto, Gunther, and Cooley, because they are not the big physical players.
No.
Cooley is 5'10". They have Gunther listed at 6'1", but he's only 190 pounds. And Yamamoto is smaller than me. He's 5'9", 178. So they get into it there. But Noah Hanifin teaching a lesson.
Utah penalty number 56. Vegas penalty number 55. 2 minutes each. Roughing. Teams will play 4-on-4.
Yamamoto for Utah, Kolasar for the Golden Knights. And so penalties cancel out for the third time today. We saw 4 versus 4 in the middle of the first period. Then there were 3 penalties, but 2 of the 3 canceled out, which led to a Utah power play. All of that was in the first period. No penalties in the second. Here in the third period, Kerfoot hooking Barbashev led to the Vegas power play goal. And now this pair of penalties, Yamamoto and Kolasar, each for roughing. So they'll skate 4 aside, it appears, with 6:05 to go in the third. Vegas leading 3-2. Stone on the power play, Dowd in even strength. The third period goals to put Vegas on top 3-2 in game 1.
Jack Eichel and Mark Stone on the forward for Vegas. Theodore and McNabb. Kerfoot with Sergachev, Schmaltz, and I'm guessing it's Uyghur over on the other side. Can't see the back of his jersey.
It is Uyghur, yep. Utah gets the draw. Free puck comes to the opposite side of the ice. Mammoth lose it. McNabb and Theodore coming back. McNabb wipes out, but Theodore gets the puck. Holds on to it. Skating away from Sergachev. 2-time Stanley Cup champion with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Oh, Sergachev collides with Hart. Referee gestures a couple of times, but does not call a penalty. Vegas gets the puck out to center. Eichel is double teamed near side. Naturally, the fans are not pleased with that. It wasn't particularly violent, but you can't make contact with the goaltender.
Goaltender interference.
Why would the referee not call it? Utah gets the puck at center. In they come. An errant pass. Keller had it skip by him, and it's back out to the neutral zone. Minute 15 on the penalties. Now, here's Schmaltz closing. He shoots. Pat save. Knights are trying to change personnel. Schmaltz was hanging out there. 74 points in the regular season. Top line center. Just his 5th playoff game here today. Schmaltz did play in the 2020 bubble playoffs, but he was just starting out at that stage. Only 4 games out of the 9 they played that postseason. 5 minutes to go in the third. Utah trying to tie things up after they led 1-0 and 2-1. Vegas leads 3-2. Knights with the puck near side of their own zone. Hanifin plays it out. Slow moving puck. It's going to be an icing. Looked like along the near boards it was slowing down as Barbashev was tripped up at his own blue line. The officials say it is indeed an icing. 38 seconds left on the penalties. 4 versus 4. And 4:43 left to go third period. Knights leading 3-2. Vegas at 29 shots. Utah at 28. Here in the third period, Vegas has 10. Utah has 6.
I'd love to hear an explanation why that wasn't a penalty.
Yeah. Utah wins the draw left side. Feeds to Sergachev. The lefty straight on. Shoots it over the goal. Gets the glass. Dursey to the rebound. Checked by Marner. Dursey stripped by Anderson. Plays it out to Barbashev. And now rink wide to Noah Hanifin. Backwards, Mitch Marner in his own zone. Penalties at 20 seconds. Still at 4 versus 4. Brett Howden works ahead. Tripped up as he gains the line. Howden had 2 goals in the first game of the playoffs last year against Minnesota. Dursey spinning away from Howden. Brett trying to stay with him. Forces a pass out to center that the Knights intercept. Vegas controls. Jeremy Lauzon dumps it in. Clanks it around. Sissons to it with a couple of points today. Sissons does have one career 3-point playoff game. Loose puck in the slot. Theodore reels it in. Whips it down low. Kolasar in behind the net. Back to 5-on-5 now. Penalties to either side have elapsed. Theodore to Kolasar. Back to Theodore left point. Down the boards on the near side left. Sissons backhands it behind, hoping for Howden. But it did not get to him. Instead, it's Utah with Sergachev. Dursey run into by Kolasar. At the other end, Utah gets it in. Icing waved off. Vegas on the puck though. Barbashev banks it out. Kolasar just missed it. It hopped over his stick. Lots of snow there between the benches. Utah goes back to its own zone. 3:20 to go, third period. Vegas leading 3-2. Keep an eye on Vejmelka. Utah gains the line. Schmaltz dropped it off right circle for Keller. He's tied up tightly. Now here's Weegar. Sharp angle shot saved by Hart. And that pad up against the right post. His left. Puck comes out to the point. Krause holds it in. Passes left for Schmaltz. Righty going left circle. Wipes out. Anderson gets the puck. Eichel skates it ahead with Stone. Stone near the center ice logo. Up at the red line, dumps it in right corner. And Vegas makes a wholesale change. Line change is brought to you by William Hill. 3-2 Vegas, 2:45 to go. Utah sends it in. Carter Hart taps it. Leaves it in play. Gunter was in pursuit. Marino from the right point sends it down the boards. Cooley sends a rink wide left. Now Marino straight on shoots. Save. No rebound. Now a couple of times Carter Hart has played the puck and has not looked exactly on the same page with his teammates. And while Carter is playing well here, you don't want a miscue to occur simply between a goaltender and a defender.
Hey, he's talking to Braden McNabb right after all that, saying, what would you like me to do with that one differently?
That has not cost them here, but a couple of tense moments. 2:31 to go, third period. Vegas leading 3-2 in game one of the first round. Fourth game of the day and the 7th out of 8 series to get going. One more to start tomorrow, Anaheim at Edmonton at 7 o'clock Pacific. Right here, it's Vegas 3, Utah 2. 2:33 to go in the third period here in game one. Presented by Lee's Discount Liquor. It's the Stanley Cup Playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
California's #1 casino just got better. Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel is now the only AAA 5-diamond rated casino hotel in the country. Become a Club Serrano member today and enjoy perks and exclusive rewards. VIP at another casino? Trade up and take advantage of the tier and offer match program at Yamava Resort and Casino, voted #1 casino outside of Vegas by Newsweek. You in? Details at Yamava.com. Must be 21 to enter.
Happy Hour at Lee's Discount Liquor is on. Monday to Thursday, 4 to 7 p.m. Get up to 50% off on selected items. In-store only. From craft beers, crisp wines, top shelf spirits, and new items every week. Clock out, swing by your nearest Lee's, and save big. Lee's Discount Liquor. Make your weeknights taste better. 21 plus only. In-store only. While supplies last. Please drink responsibly.
At Access, we believe that music and sports are best enjoyed live and in person. That's why we're passionate about providing fans with tickets to the hottest sporting events and concerts around the world, including right here in Vegas. The Access ticketing app is safe, simple, and secure, and you can find it in the App Store for iOS or the Google Play Store for Android. Or visit us at Access.com to find tickets to your next unforgettable live experience. That's AXS.com. Access, your ticket to Las Vegas.
Back to the Stanley Cup playoffs with Dan Duva and Gary Lawless.
Down the stretch we go. 2:33 left, third period. Vegas leads 3-2. Ozone draw for Utah. Vejmelka stays in his net. First time Andre Tourigny has coached in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Only 3 NHL coaches have been in their respective jobs longer than he's been with this group. Utah gets the draw. Eichel on the near side with McNabb. A couple of checks, but could not get the puck. Came out high to Schmidt. Returns it down low. Deflects to the far corner. Race for the puck off a couple of sticks. Theodore plays it for the Golden Knights. Now it squirts into the circle. Braden McNabb is there using the near boards. Chips it off the side wall. Got it as far as the Utah line. Nate Schmidt is back for the Mammoth. Utah's hit 30 shots, 2 goals. Vegas has 29 shots, 3 goals. 2 minutes to play in the third period. here at T-Mobile Arena. 107th playoff game in team history. Utah dumps it in. Marino heads off after sending it down. Mammoth converge on the puck. Knights to it. Vejmelka hit it to the bench. Vegas gets it. And now here's a shot by Hurdle. And it's in! It's Barbashev with the empty net goal. And the Knights will take game one, leading 4-2 with 1:39 to go in the third. Just as Vejmelka went to the bench, the Knights got the puck on the near side of their own zone. Ivan Barbashev found the puck just by his own blue line and sent it about 160 feet into the vacated goal. And the Knights have a 2-goal lead. They have scored 3 here in the third, 3 in a row. They build a 2-goal edge.
Terrible timing for Vejmelka as he starts to lead. Hanifin wins the battle, pushes it up to Ivan. He takes his time, looks once, looks twice, says, I got to dunk this, and he does. His physicality early got Vegas roaring, and now he puts the insurance marker in.
Well, here we go. We got fisticuffs off the draw, right at center ice. Kolasar in there with Keller, and now Dowd going after somebody. That's Cooley. Dowd barking at Cooley, who's just 21 years old. Nick Dowd is the oldest Golden Knight. He's 35. And Dowd is bleeding.
Yeah.
He's bleeding.
He's bleeding a lot, and he's saying to the ref, you going to do something about this?
Oh, there's blood all over his sweater.
Yeah, he gets a cross-check right in the face from Cooley off the draw.
It's really brutal that twice in today's game you'd have a Golden Knights player cross-checked in the head, blood drawn, and on neither occasion was a penalty assessed, nor was there a video review called for, which we saw earlier in today's hockey between Montreal and Tampa Bay. If they're not sure, talk about it, go to the video. It's exactly what happened in the Tampa-Montreal game, yet twice here today, a Golden Knight gets a stick in the face, gets bloodied, there's no call, there's no video review. It's why the rule was instituted. Why would you not do that? The Golden Knights were cost a playoff series because there was no review prior to 2019. No matter here, Vegas wins the draw. They'll get it in. Comes in on Vejmelka, who steers it away. Minute 30 to go in the third period. Barbashev from Hanifin at 18:21. The empty net goal. Utah now in desperation mode. Gunther, a shot blocker save. Vejmelka heads to the bench again. Knights get the puck. Sissons couldn't get it, but now a clear made by Lausanne. Cut off to the center, read by Lawson Krause. 6-on-5 for Utah, trailing by 2 goals. Minute 10 left in the third period. Gunther rims it in. Out of the far corner, Anderson. He got it out of the zone. Will it be icing? Yes. To hustle back to get the whistle. The linesman doesn't blow the whistle until the retreating player, the defending player here, Sergachev, gets to the invisible line created by the faceoff dots. That's the reason why the whistle doesn't blow right away. 1 minute to go. Gary, final minute brought to you by Credit One. 1 to go. Knights lead it by 2. Hanifin has 2 points. Sissons has 2 points. And the Knights have scored 3 in a row.
Vegas, very physical in this game. Utah has gotten away with a couple, a headbutt, 2 high sticks that drew blood. Vegas' power play struck.
1 for 1. Utah gets the draw. One-time shot wide. Gunther then checks Kolasar in the small of the back after he let the shot go. Schmaltz attempt knocked down. Kolasar in the way of that one. Everybody reaching for the free puck on the right side. Schmaltz threw it across, deflected puck, and a shot blocked. Sliding block by Kolasar. What a shift. Play continues. Feed right in the shot. Diving save, Hart to his left. Stopping Schmaltz. Now on the near side. Keller threw it toward the left wing side. Back to the point, Sergachev to Keller. One-timer save. 30 seconds to go. 6-on-5 continues. Sissons without a stick, got a skate on the puck, could not clear. Keller pulls, moves toward the slot, feeds right, but his pass got tipped. And a new stick for Sissons now. Keller to Sergachev for a shot blocked. Keller again, right dot. Keller looking backdoor, missed everybody. Off the left corner boards. Gunther reels it in. Sergachev over the goal with a drive. Down to 5 seconds left here in game 1. Utah still at the puck, feed right in the shot. Another save by Hart, and that is all she wrote. And man at the horn, Stedland, and chaos ensues. The game is over, but the action continues in the first round. First ever playoff game between the Knights and Mammoth. And the spotlights, the flamingos, the horns, the gas spurts. But the fans are watching more action as players have squared off, the officials separating. All of the players still going after one another. And now Cooley just comes over and face washes Anderson while Anderson is being restrained by the referee TJ Luxmore.
Now, this is fine for Utah to win this scrum at the end. They've lost the game. Vegas takes a 1-0 lead in this best of 7. And if Utah feels good about that, well, they can lick their wounds for a couple of days. Golden Knights played big boy hockey and got the result they wanted.
They got the experience on their side, and they got the goaltending on their side. Carter Hart has won 7 straight games since returning from injury early this month. And while Utah struck first, had leads of 1-0 and 2-1, Vegas scores the last 3 unanswered. The veteran Golden Knights in their 107th playoff game earned their 63rd playoff win, which is tied with the Tampa Bay Lightning for most in the Stanley Cup playoffs since Vegas entered the league back in 2018. Final score, Vegas 4, Utah 2. Knights take a 1-0 series lead in this best of 7 first-round series. Game 2 on Tuesday here at T-Mobile Arena, 6:30 Pacific time. And they'll move up to Salt Lake City for games 3 and 4, Friday and Monday. So, lots to come here on the broadcast. We'll have live interview from the Knights dressing room. We'll also have post-game highlights. And then John Tortorella's post-game press conference. And, of course, your phone calls on the extended post-game show. Vegas 4, Utah 2. Knights take game 1. Scoring in just a moment. First, we'll get the 3 stars of today's contest as soon as they have them ready. We'll turn things over to Bruce Cusick. For the moment, Chance, the mascot, is dancing at the center ice logo, waving the Golden Knights flag. Let's listen in.
Yamava, our 3rd star of the night for your Vegas Golden Knights, with a win between the pipes, number 79, Carter Hart.
7 straight wins, and now a playoff record of 10 and 5.
Our 2nd star of the night for your Golden Knights, number 10, Colton Sisson.
7th career multi-point playoff game for Sissons, a goal and an assist.
Our 1st star of the night for your Golden Knights, number 26, Nick Dowd.
2nd career postseason game-winning goal. The last one was May 15th, 2021. Round 1, game 1 against Boston. Those are your stars. Hart, number 3. Sissons, number 2. Dowd, number 1. Now to the bench. Sissons ready to chat with Katie Marie.
Today, game 1, round 1, win 1, and you got the first goal of the Stanley Cup playoffs. How are you feeling right now?
It feels great. We did our job tonight, and it's a big win for us. So should be feeling good.
Listen, I heard a little quote earlier today. Former VGK player Nate Schmidt was asked, how can Utah prepare for the environment in Vegas? And he just simply said, you can't. So why do you think that is, and what makes this place so special to play in?
I mean, everybody's just so invested in the team's success here. It's just, it's an unbelievable place to play. It doesn't get any better than this.
Thanks so much, Colton. Congratulations on your first win of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Mark Bojo.
There we go. Colton Sissons with Katie Marie as the Knights defeat the Mammoth 4-2. And Gary, they do it in come-from-behind fashion. They're now 8-0-1 under John Tortorella. And now 6 of their wins have been when trailing first, and just the one shootout loss, of course. But once again, it's a come-from-behind victory for this group. The third period has been so stellar. They outscored the Mammoth 3-0 in the third today.
Well, a few things. John Tortorella has been talking a lot about belief. And Vegas went 7-0-1 under Tortorella down the stretch. But some observers would say the only teams they beat were Edmonton and Colorado. Those other 6 games were against patty cakes, tomato cans, well, however you want to say it. And so it doesn't really count. And that would be in the back of the Golden Knights' head. The other thing is there's pressure on Vegas, different than what there is on Utah. The Golden Knights are a team built to contend and to try and win the Stanley Cup. So I think 2 things. A little bit of pressure on Vegas and needed to convince themselves a little bit more that we really are what we're supposed to be. This game, John Tortorella can take this game and use it to sell. He can sell his team on themselves and say, you really are that good. Now let's get going.
It's exactly what Shea Theodore said to me earlier today. I posed to Shea a question I posed to John Tortorella, which is, attitudes are not taught, they're caught. What do you think the attitude is that your players are catching from you? He had a great answer. Theodore answered it with one word: confidence. And he talked about how John Tortorella has said, I don't know if you guys realize how good you are.
We've heard that from John a number of times, and this has got to be, Mark Stone hits that crossbar in the first period. Marner and Anderson, they crossfire a little bit. This has got to be a game for the Golden Knights where they can go, all right, we were physical, we had energy, and eventually we had success and the puck went in the net. The power play clicked. That's a big bonus for them to feel good about it. And the other thing they can say to themselves, hey, 79, the guy behind us all, he's for real. And that helps the team get going. I'll tell you what, I didn't know what to expect coming here today. I was like, you know what? I've watched it. I know these players. But season from season, you're never quite sure. Well, I believe a lot more right now than I did earlier today. I can tell you that.
Knights 4, Mammoth 2 in Game 1 of the first round. Knights lead the best-of-7 series. Game 2 is day after tomorrow. We'll have a live interview coming up in just a few moments from the dressing room. We invite you to stick around for that. Noah Hannafin will be our guest. A couple of assists for Noah today. His 46th playoff game. Last year in the playoffs had 1 goal, 4 assists in 11 games. And he starts this postseason out with a multi-point performance. So stand by for Noah Hannafin from the Golden Knights dressing room. So Carter Hart earns the victory. He was 11-3-3 in the regular season, becoming the 6th Golden Knights netminder to start a playoff game, and he's 1-0. And, of course, his numbers down the stretch, fantastic. Gary, if you look, and I don't have the numbers including today quite yet, we'll have to do some math. Hard to do on the fly. But those 6 wins in a row, his goals against average, 1.66. Save percentage, .930. 10 goals allowed over the course of 6 consecutive wins. Basically, that has continued here into the postseason. The numbers will break, right? The regular season numbers and the playoff stats kept separately. But in terms of the momentum that Carter has generated for himself, I mean, this is exactly the right timing, everything you would hope for.
That's playoff caliber goaltending. That's exactly what they need. If he plays like that, now listen, is he going to steal a game? I wouldn't bet against it. Like, he does have that gear, but he's still continuing to sharpen his game. And this, for him, there's belief now too. He's got to walk off this and say, just won a playoff game against, listen, the Utah team is good. They're very talented. They can score goals. They're one of the best scoring teams in the NHL. Top 10 team in terms of offense. And he just held them to 2. He's got to feel good about that.
And remember that his previous playoff experience, there were no fans. It was the Edmonton bubble.
Yeah.
He did win 9 games against 5 losses in the bubble, but very different. He was joking yesterday about, there were no fans, but there was fake crowd noise. Okay, I hope we never have to deal with that again. But this is different. And clearly the home crowd very much on his side. 17,979. That's roughly 600 over the fixed seating capacity.
It was a real good crowd. There were a lot of Utah people outside of the rink. Not many of them got into the building. It was mostly Vegas fans, and we heard an awful lot of Utah sucks. That was the chant that was going on in the building for long stretches, and one of the reporters from Utah just tweeted a little while ago saying, "Hey, Utah, Salt Lake City, this place is bananas. You better bring it for games 3 and 4. But we got game 2 first. I'll see you Tuesday."
Thanks, Gary. 4-2, the final score. The Knights defeat the Mammoth. A year ago, the Knights played the Minnesota Wild in game 1 of the first round. And the final score in that one, Vegas 4, Minnesota 2. Let's go downstairs now as Golden Knights defenseman Noah Hannafin standing by to join us. Noah, Dan Duva in the radio booth. Thanks for coming by. Congratulations. Boy, what stands out to you about winning game 1 here against the Mammoth?
Yeah, well, we stuck with it. Obviously, tough balance there on their second goal, and I thought we did a really good job in the third period, just staying patient, staying poised. We've dealing with some adversity there early in the game, but great third period out of the team.
The game starts with clearly a lot of emotion, a lot of energy. There were some penalties and some that were not called that clearly should have been. How did you guys handle the intensity of the first period of the Stanley Cup playoffs, especially against a team, for most of their team, they had never even been in the playoffs before?
Yeah, it was, it's playoffs. Game 1, first series. Everyone's, we're playing at home in front of our fans, so it's important to, establish that physical game. And, I thought, we got a lot of guys that have a lot of playoff experience, obviously, so we know what it's all about. And, I think we did a better job as the game went along. 3 goals in the third period, last 3 unanswered. I have to ask you about the Knights' fourth line, Cole Smith, Nick Dowd, Colton Sissons. How would you encapsulate their performance today? They're phenomenal. They can do it all. They work so hard. They hunt on pucks. They're a hard line to play against, and they got some great skill too. So just a great line and just a huge part of our team.
Number 79, Carter Hart, has won every game that he's played since returning from injury. 7 straight wins. What did you see from Carter Hart today?
Yeah, he's just very calm in net. Obviously, it's playing the playoffs it's a pretty intense atmosphere.
If you're considering purchasing
he did
a new,
great job just staying with it and making the big saves for our team when we needed them.
I asked John Tortorella this question on the pregame show. No, I'm going to ask you too. This is about attitude. There's a great teacher who used to say, attitudes are not taught, they're caught. What attitude have you caught from John Tortorella?
I would say just assertiveness, right? Like we know we have a good team. We have I think the spirit of the team's in a good spot right now, and Torts is he brings a lot of fire to the room, and I think it's good for our group and just making sure we're playing assertive, playing on our toes, and when we do that, we're a hard team to play against. So obviously it's only game 1. We have a long series ahead of us against a good team, so we just got to keep plugging away.
I have to ask about your performance here, Noah. 2 assists, and of course we talked about the outburst there in the third period. You set up the Dowd goal with that shot that he redirects in. What were you seeing? What were you looking for on that play?
Dowder's put himself in a good spot. Obviously, they do a pretty good job at fronting pucks and getting in lanes. So I think just trying to mix it up a little bit and look for maybe a shot tip. And, Dowder made a phenomenal play.
Sure did. Then you set up Barbashev for the empty netter. You and Rasmus Anderson look like you've been playing together your whole lives. We know you played together for a while. How would you assess the two of you playing together right now?
Yeah, I love playing with Raz. He's a great player. He is, very good hockey IQ. He's a smart player, and I felt like obviously we've had a history of playing together, so we have some good chemistry, and we just got to keep building our game. We're going to need to keep getting better as the series goes along.
Noah, thanks very much. Congratulations.
All right, guys, thanks.
Noah Hannafin from the Knights dressing room. 2 assists today. Noah's 46th career playoff game. Last year, 1 goal, 4 assists in 11 playoff games. Knights defeating Minnesota 6 games in the first round, but then losing to the Oilers in 5 games in the second round. Again, the final here today, Vegas 4, Utah 2, game 1 of the first round. As the Knights will play game 2 day after tomorrow here at T-Mobile Arena. That game is 6:30 Pacific time on Tuesday. 6:30 Pacific time on Tuesday. One series has not yet begun. Anaheim Ducks, Edmonton Oilers, tomorrow, 7 o'clock Pacific time. So there are a handful of games in the National Hockey League tomorrow, but that is the one series that has not yet begun. Anaheim at Edmonton Elsewhere, you'll have Ottawa visit Carolina tomorrow, Philadelphia at Pittsburgh tomorrow, and Minnesota at Dallas tomorrow. And then Anaheim at Edmonton. Those are the 4 series in action tomorrow. The games that happened today, Vegas, of course, capping it off with a 4-2 victory. Earlier, Colorado defeated Los Angeles 2-1. In Tampa, Lightning lose to the Canadiens 4-3 in overtime. First and only overtime game so far in the playoffs. And then in Buffalo, the Sabres come from behind, defeat the Boston Bruins 4-3. Buffalo's first playoff game in 15 years. The Sabres beat the Bruins 4-3. And Alex Tuck had the game-winning goal. We have the postgame show again coming up with Ryan Wallace. Stick around for that. First, we'd like to thank our game title partner, the Southern Nevada Toyota Dealers Association. Thank you to Toyota. Well. Before we get to the final numbers and everything else, it was the 107th playoff game in Golden Knights history. They are now 63-44. That is the same number of wins that the Tampa Bay Lightning have in the playoffs over that period of time. Knights and Lightning, most playoff wins over the last 9 years. That's just remarkable for this franchise to be at that level this early on. Just its 9th campaign and its 8th postseason. They started with a win here today. Well, we have the attendance at 17,979. That's the attendance here at T-Mobile Arena. That's about 400 over the fixed seating capacity as the Knights play their first home playoff game. Time of today's game was 2 hours and 41 minutes. 2 hours and 41 minutes to see the Knights defeat the Mammoth 4-2. Thanks to our engineers in the broadcast booth, Joe Sands, Ray Regal pushing all the right buttons. Thanks to Joe Costa back at our studio. And thanks to broadcast assistant Doug Latuca. For Golden Knights insider Gary Lawless, Dan Duva saying so long. And have a great night, everybody. Postgame show is next with Ryan Wallace. Presented by Lee's Discount Liquor. This is the Stanley Cup Playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
Tuned for the Vegas Golden Knights postgame show, coming up here on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
If you're considering purchasing a new or used Honda or need to service your current vehicle, go to the Name Las Vegas Trust for exceptional sales, service, and parts. Finley. Whether you're up north, down south, or somewhere in between, you're always just 15 minutes away from a Finley Honda store. Each location has friendly and knowledgeable sales and service professionals. So give us a call or stop in anytime. Finley Honda's in Centennial Hills and Finley Honda Henderson in the Valley Auto Mall. The difference is in the name.
Farhan Naqvi with Naqvi Injury Law. Imagine you've been injured in an accident. Now, do you want an assembly line law firm that treats you like a number and settles early for easy money? Hell no. You want an attorney who does everything in his power to translate knowledge and experience into big bucks in your pocket. Call me now for a free consultation at 702-INJURED.
If you've been hurt, Naqvi is the word. Call 702-INJURED.
It's the Vegas Golden Knights postgame show. Here's your host, Ryan Wallace.
Welcome into the Vegas Golden Knights postgame show as Golden Knights defeat the Utah Mammoth 4-2. Take game one, a 1-0 series lead for the Golden Knights. Game two going Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. here in Vegas against these Utah Mammoth. And to help us break this one down and go back to the radio booth, bring in the voice of the Golden Knights, Dan Duva. And you know what, Dan? The word patience certainly comes to mind in this game for the Golden Knights. Just grew and got better and better as the game wore on. What stood out to you about this team's performance?
Yeah, well, there was going to be intensity early, especially for so many of the Utah players who had never been in a Stanley Cup playoffs game before. Mm-hmm. That is to be expected. The Golden Knights matched the intensity. Yes, Utah scored first. They did so with 11 seconds left in the first period. There was the Lozon-Tanev situation at 11:55 that led to 4-on-4 hockey. Then the whole skirmish at 16:32 that the officials just did not get right. Utah ended up with a power play. They got 2 shots. Knights got 1 shorthanded shot. But frankly, the Knights should have at least had a power play. Jersey should have been given a major penalty for headbutting. That's what happens when you headbutt somebody, and that's what he did. He headbutts Rasmus Andersson. They didn't call it. If you injure somebody while headbutting, it's a match penalty. Not only did they miss that, Jersey also high-sticks Cole Smith. Cole Smith was bloodied. There was no high-sticking call, nor did they call for a video review. So Jersey got only 2 for roughing. Anderson got 2 for roughing. Howden got 2 for roughing. So Utah ended up with a power play. I think if you were to go back, if you were one of the NHL's officials and you were to go to watch all of that again, you would say that the outcome in terms of who's in the box and who's not should have been different. But the Knights withstood all of that, is my point. The Knights withstood all of that. They did give up the 1 goal. They tied it early in the second period. And yes, the weird play, the deflection that goes off of Carter Hart's stick right into Korczak and into the goal. It's a fluky one, so Utah's back in the lead. But the game, as it went along, fell more and more in the Golden Knights' hands. They did not get a power play until the third period, and the power play came through. It has been the most productive power play in team history in terms of raw goals. No surprise that they're 1 for 1 here in the playoffs, and that it's Stone from Hertl and Marner right around the net. We asked Tomas Hertl about it on the pregame show today, how critical that area around the net often is, especially in the playoffs, offensively and defensively. Hertl essentially ties up everybody at top of the crease, so Stone has a wide-open net to slam in the loose puck. So that's not a goal for Hertl, but a critical play by Hertl and his size and all of that happening in the crease. And then the third period has just been the Golden Knights period. That they scored 3 times in the third period is, again, no surprise because they've been doing that all season. So on one hand, you would love to take a lead and hold it for the whole game, but this more or less unfolds the way that you would hope if you're a Golden Knights fan. They got better as the game went along.
So let's zero in on the Golden Knights' fourth line. Colton Sissons, it's a goal and an assist for him. Cole Smith on the board with an assist, and Nick Dowd gets the game winner. You look at that line from the physicality that they brought, the North mentality. You want to talk about aggressive. That was that line all game long. I mean, it was just a tremendous performance for the Golden Knights in their fourth line.
Yeah, and to think that each of those players was elsewhere last year. Cole Smith and Colton Sissons, of course, with the Predators, who missed the playoffs. Nick Dowd was with the Capitals. He had 1 assist in 10 playoff games last year for the Caps. But at different times, brought in by this organization to reestablish a fourth-line identity. And at times, Keegan Colasar has been with Dowd and Cole Smith, but we saw it last game where Colasar and Sissons switched. And for whatever reason, Sissons, Dowd, and Smith have generated a little bit more offensively, aside from the physicality and their pedal-to-the-floor mentality. So, just a slight tweak there. And by the way, Keegan Colasar, I don't know the final number yet, but at one point he was leading the Golden Knights in hits. Let's double-check here. They've got him at 9. He had 8 in the first 2 periods. Barbashev ended up with 8 as well. So I thought it was a strong line there as well. But the offense did come from Colton Sissons, who had 6 goals all year, and Nick Dowd, who had 5 goals all year. So that is significant.
All right, let's zero in on Carter Hart. Obviously, this is a tremendous performance out of Carter today. His debut in the playoffs for the Golden Knights, it had been a while since he had played playoff hockey, first time with fans in the building. What'd you think of Carter in goal tonight?
I thought he was terrific. It was, as Gary said succinctly, that was playoff goaltending. He's riding the wave of the success over the last month. Again, returned to the lineup April 2nd, played 3. Then Aiden Hill played 1, and Hart played the final 3 games of the regular season. Then you have 3 days in between games, so you have Hart played today. It's basically as if he skipped a game that would have been on Friday if the normal schedule were to have held. So in terms of the workload, it's not been onerous. It's, I think, just what the Knights would like with respect to the amount of work that he has to do. The play in front of him has been strong. Once or twice he made a curious decision with the puck around his net to put his teammates in jeopardy, but they bailed him out a couple of times. I think you just want to, make the right play. You want to help out. It just is a sign to me that how much Carter is invested in this group. It's really impressive to see how he has played, but also how his teammates have rallied to him and supported him. There is a confidence that has come from his play, and I think that has buoyed the rest of the players in front of him.
All right, Dan, any final thoughts on Game 1 before we turn our attention to Game 2 on Tuesday?
Well, the crowd was great, no surprise. We've seen it so many times before. And for the Utah folks, there are plenty of Golden Knights fans up in Salt Lake City, as we know from the 2 visits up there that the Knights had in the preseason before the Mammoth existed. And still, when the Golden Knights have visited